I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, May 1st. Across the Delaware Valley, this is the Anthony Gargano Show. We're presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. TrueMark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. All right, a couple things I want to get started. Number one, it's May 1. It's May 1st. And you know what I started thinking about? I woke up, it was May 1st, and I'm like, yes! Because we only got to get through 3 more months until it starts. In fact, I did the calculations, all right? So if you go to the opener, the home opener, September the 4th, VG's having a conniption. And you're going to fast forward summer. You're going to go right through the summer. Bleep, yeah, man. All right? With this football team, all I want to do is watch this team play. So the season's going to start September 4th. The Eagles will play that Thursday, probably against the Rams, right? Like, that's probably how it'll work out. So we would be 127 days from today. Kick it off the 2025 opener. Yeah, that's right. When I look at him, can I just tell you, I was talking to somebody yesterday, a friend of mine who's a league guy, and he's like, dude, your boys, he goes, they're a handful. And I said, yeah, well, I mean, he's like, they just didn't have a really good draft. Like, they didn't have a good draft. They had a great draft. He's like, that's Jahad Campbell. He had him ranked really high. Thinks he's going to be just a stud. He went through, we were talking about the picks. He's like, here's the problem for the rest of the NFC. The Eagles' defense is so elite. He's like, dude, this defense is one of the best defenses I've seen. He said it's almost like a Ravens 2000s type of defense. So if you remember the Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Siragusa, right? Like that 2000 defense. He said the Eagles defense could rival that defense. And look, I've always often thought that if you went back in the time, the greatest defenses in the NFL, 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, right? Then you had the Niners in the 80s, the Cowboys in the 90s, the Steelers in the 70s. Denver had a good defense in the 70s too. And then when you look at, the Eagles obviously of the 80s, you look at modern football, and there's been like really good defenses. And I don't know, I think the Eagles defense last year turned out to be the best defense since the 2000 Ravens. Is that fair to say? So I don't know if I'm forgetting any, but I think they were the best defense since the 2000 Ravens. And next year, they could be better. That's the scary piece of it. Quinyon and Cooper, another year, right? Nolan Smith, another year. Jalen Carter. Like, these are kids that aren't even in their prime yet, that are ascending talent. Now, I know they got thinned out, right, through free agency, and I know everybody's looking at that one safety spot. I got to tell you, I think they could be scary, like really, really scary. I cannot wait. So, therefore, we will count down every day, much to VG's dismay, until the start of the season. Good morning, VG.
I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Come with me, BG.
No, we got 127 days of.
Say
No.
on two.
No. I'd rather see the wave down at the ballpark every game I go to than go to do this and jump through. I want 127 days of bullpen stress, of Bryce Harper's not great stress, of they got no center fielder stress.
Dude, there's nothing against the
I want
Phillies.
all that stress. I want that stress.
You're going to get that
I want to live it and breathe it.
You're going to get that stress once the season starts.
Yeah, you're trying to hit the fast forward button.
FF.
Yeah, dude. You hit it like 4 times, so we're going super fast. No.
You're like, DVR, you go,
No, man.
yeah, baby. Football.
No, I'm going to earmuffs.
Oh, my
What
God.
about summer? What about days at the beach?
Yeah.
The beautiful sunny
I'm sorry, I cursed. Forget
Exactly.
summer.
Yeah.
It's overrated.
Margaritas on the back porch. Come on, man. You gotta skip through all
Margaritas in
that.
October.
Listen.
Margaritas don't hit in October.
Yeah.
Listen, for you guys, I get it. All right? For me, summer's just miserable. All right?
Touche.
I don't
I
have
get
a
it.
house down the shore. I don't have a place to go down the shore. All right?
Me neither.
I got, all I have to do is entertain 2 animal children.
Send them
All
to
right.
camp. Can't just send them
They
to
go to
camp.
camp. Every day I go take them to camp.
Oh, like a
Sports camp.
sleepaway camp. Like
Yeah,
go away for like
sleepaway
3
sports
weeks.
camp.
3 weeks. They go to every sports camp imaginable. And then every day is going to be training camp. Like once football camp starts, I'll be.
The chat is so anti you right now. They're like, get off the hot coffee, get a cold coffee. Mace here. Like, let's go. Enjoy the summer.
Guys, I completely understand. And listen, there would have been a time where I would have agreed with you. Like,
We got a good ball.
I'm talking about the
the chat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, listen, I don't blame you. Listen, I think you should hate my take.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
I get it.
Good. I feel like that.
Like, listen, you should hate my take. I hear you. I just look at football and I'm looking at that defense and I go like this with summer. I go,
what?
again, your existence is a much, if I had your existence, I would do the same. I would be the same as you.
You're running around in the car at night. You got the radio on. You got Fransky on. You don't get that in the fall and stuff. Don't you want to listen to baseball on the radio while you drive around with the windows
Yeah,
cracked open?
windows down, like
Yeah.
beautiful breeze. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'll be honest with you. That does nothing for me.
What?
What?
A little baseball on the radio?
We're driving in the car.
What?
Who cares?
Oh man, it makes the ride so much better. It's like listening to a
I'd
good
rather
soundtrack.
watch a game, A.
Well, yeah, of course.
And B, I don't, who's driving
Oh my
in
God, we're
summer?
at May 1st. It's May Day. We used to have a procession down the street. The May procession.
Oh, dude, the May procession is always the best. The kids,
buddy.
when the kids were little,
Yeah.
in their white suits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Enjoy it.
No, listen,
Tomorrow should be shorts and Hawaiian shirt Friday.
I'm in. I'll do it.
I don't have a Hawaiian shirt.
I get you one. I got time.
I'm
on
not
that.
Little Tommy Bahama? Totally in.
Yes.
I'm out. Yeah, no, dude, I get it. You guys
Bring up a
are
little
right.
grill, little George Foreman grill in here. Throw some dogs on there.
You guys are right. Can I just say you guys are right? All right? You guys are spot on.
All right, so how can we help you?
Tooch right now is cursing me
How do we help you?
because he lives for this.
Well, he lives down the shore, don't he?
Yeah, he's down the shore.
Yeah, I would
I'm
love
like,
to.
yeah, if I had a place down the shore, yeah, I would be all beach, But I don't, and I freaking hate Jersey. and like when it's hot, like listen, fall's beautiful, right?
Of course, fall's beautiful,
Right?
but you
Just like
can't,
I like fall
you
in the-
can't
in the
appreciate
sun.
the beauty of fall without the heat and drudgery of those dog days of summer.
Right, but the summer, it bugs, it's hot, weeds. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, but it's better than
You're from
frigid cold.
Southern Italy.
Yeah, again, if I was in Southern Italy, I would love summer. In fact, for 2 weeks, I'm going to love summer
You're gonna love this.
when I go to Puglia.
Kyle in the chat says you need a pool.
Yeah. Tooch goes, miserable. You're a miserable. No, I want football. So the only thing I enjoy.
There's a UFL, man. You got football happening right now. If you
Yeah.
want it, it's there.
I just bring it up. It's going to be fun season. Their defense is going to be great. Listen, chat's right. All right? Like, don't mind me.
Casper the Ghost. Anthony, what the hell is going on?
I know. Listen, they're right. Like, I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I know I'm alone in this.
We got to find a way to make it right.
My mind just goes to that. That's my happy place.
Oh, man.
Summer is not my happy
Joe
place.
Rocket, air conditioning. You love it. Coming into a cold house with the AC cranked up.
I don't like air conditioning.
You don't like air conditioning? Don't they have air conditioning in Italy?
Yeah, I mean, you need it.
Yeah.
Like, I like air conditioning when it's 95 degrees, but I prefer fall. Nice 70 degrees. Right.
It's 70 degrees today, and it's beautiful.
No, it's gorgeous today. No, without a doubt. Listen, again, you guys are right. But I started to think about May and then the calendar, and then I started to think about, oh, man, well, September 4th is not that far away.
Jesus.
And then you have
got kids
camp.
going back to school already. September 4th's not that far away. Kids aren't even out of school yet.
Get back. See, this is the deal. When you have children, this is you don't, he don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So when you got that kind of time, or Tooch, he's got grown kids, right? So it's easy. I'm going to go buy my margarita on the beach.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Go sit at the Independence Beer Garden.
I got to go here. I got to go there. All right. I got all gots.
How old? And when do they start driving? Soon?
Soon, right?
Oh, God forbid. I'm not letting Anthony drive. The way Anthony is, oh, God, no. There's no way. There's no way.
No, man.
All right. A couple things. But the serious piece of it is,
Yeah.
dude, their defense is could be one of the best defenses in modern day.
Well, I think it is. I mean, they did lose a lot of people. Like, lose like 4 or 5
but you
starters.
Am I one that I go, Milton Williams,
I'm with you there.
Josh Sweat, like
Slay's a big loss. And CJGJ, I think, are 2 big losses.
CJGJ.
I think they're substantial losses.
CJGJ. Slay was on the end. I like Slay. I would have won another year. I get it. But, Sweat was a close guy. Like, a good player.
No, I get you. He's
right? Not where
maybe
Milton
slightly
Williams,
above average.
I think way overpaid. I'm not. I like the kids they brought. I like the draft. I don't know. I like this young, hungry defense. Like, I love this defense. I do, man. I just think they're going to be ridiculous. Jalen Carter.
We got to get Vic out to dinner or out to lunch. You got to hang out with Vic.
Yeah.
You would need the bond over this. Your head would explode hanging out with
Yeah,
him.
well, I just love the way this defense is coming together. I do. Baskets last night. Lakers out. LeBron out.
First round.
You had a big smile on your face.
Oh.
You and Nico Harrison.
He's just whining afterwards. Now he's going to whine about not having a center and not playing center. It's been 3 months. You see that?
No.
They asked him, you haven't been playing without a center for 3 months, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no comment. AD said enough on that or something. And,
Again, he's whining LeBron.
yeah. Well, he does the no comment in a way that sounds whiny.
He's always whining. He's a whiner.
What could go wrong? They got a coach that never
Can I be
coaches
honest with you? I respect him. I mean, obviously, one of the greatest ever.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Does great charity work.
Yeah, like he's a good dad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't want to. But he's never been my favorite.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't know why, but there's a McNabb quality.
There is.
Like, he's
Yeah,
not-
you're right.
He's not
There is a
full-fledged
McNabb.
5, right? But he's McNabb-ish.
He is McNabbish.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does, yeah.
Right?
It does
And
make
that's
sense.
the only thing that keeps me from embracing the dude. He is. Listen, no one did it longer. Not even Michael. I'm a Jordan guy, but LeBron. It's unquestionable. His age, how hard he works.
Yeah.
People go, well, he spends all this money. But well, look what he does. He works hard at it. Like he's ridiculous shape, right? What he does.
I mean, hey, I take him here. He
But
comes here and plays, sure.
and I respect a million things, everything about him. There's just this one quality that reminds me of McNabb.
Dude, that's a great adjective, too, because I don't know how else to explain it except McNabbish. Like, what words would you put? Like, how do you describe
I know,
McNabbish? You'd have to live it to know it.
There's passive aggressiveness.
Yes, there's definitely passive aggressive.
There's that kind of shift blame.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, there's a bit of a whine. Like, again, no, like there's nothing bad. It's just kind of McNabbish.
Yes, totally agreed.
Right? Like,
I love that that's an adjective now.
ask the chat if they feel that way. I'm curious because there's just something about him. And I'm like, like I can't really root. Like, I don't really root for him. Like Giannis, I love Giannis. Right? Like, I root, like, if he was winning, I would root. Like, Giannis to me is just, even the way he handled the situation.
Oh, with Halliburton's dad?
Yeah. Right? Which was ridiculous, right?
So
Halliburton's father comes out and he's just tormenting him, right? Like,
stands in his face on the court.
He's like looking up at him. First of all, he looks like a child next to him, right? and he's like, that's the way we bleep and do it. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Yeah.
And Giannis is like, oh, man, you come at me and you're cursing me?
Right.
Like, because that's just disrespectful. Like, I love the way I love what he said. I love how he said it. I wish to God he would come here, but there's no way in the world.
We can always hope.
Nah, I mean, I can't even get myself there.
You get a number 2 pick, trade it off.
There's no way in the world. You can't make the trade work. The only way it works is he plays with Maxey. Like if you told me right now, I could start with Maxey and Giannis.
Oh yeah,
I'm in.
You got Quentin Grimes and Giannis.
What about Embiid though? You gotta get you have to do something with him.
The problem with Embiid is he holds you hostage. His knee is going to hold you hostage, which is why I don't know. I can't even get excited for any of this stuff for the basketball.
I can't get excited about the basketball.
And I love it, right? But I can't get Sixer. Listen, something happens and they get Cooper flag, rejoice.
Oh man, Eddie
But
Wright.
short of that,
Eddie Wright saying Giannis to OKC.
yeah.
Oh, that would be
Eddie
nasty.
Wright's right. He's right.
Yep.
Because if you're OKC, you got all the chips to play.
Yes, you do.
You got
like
everything.
37 draft picks.
You got a zillion draft picks. You got a deep bench.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it makes perfect sense. OKC's where it's going to go. Meanwhile, we're the Sixers. We just go back, and it's just is going to end.
He's Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do?
That's exciting.
I want you to slow down and enjoy the summer in the Phils. That's what I want you to do.
I enjoy the Phils. But, again, that's not getting me butterflies.
Butterflies.
Tingles. What tingles am I going to get? There's no sport.
We got the Diamondbacks coming in this weekend.
Stop.
No butterflies?
No.
See how they match up?
No. I got no. I mean, Phillies, Dodgers, we already saw it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you see Anthony Edwards last night, his victory lap?
Yeah.
I was going to play for the show, but it's not clean. But he's just
Yeah.
walking around the arena.
Yeah, I
yelling
love
at
Ant-Man.
fans.
Ant-Man's my favorite. I'm an Ant-Man fan.
They really got to start promoting him. Like
He's got such a great personality.
yes.
I met him when they were shooting Hustle.
Oh yeah.
And dude, what a guy. I love that kid. Ant-Man, I was like, yo, Ant, I'm an ant. We were laughing. He started laughing, smile, big smile, like one of those kinds of kids has big smile, great dude, just great dude. But I love the victory lap. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Speaking of McNabb,
Yeah.
I shot a True TV did a McNabb TO
Oh,
doc.
yeah?
Like it's
about
called
that feud back then.
It's feud.
Well, the feud still keeps going,
right? It's all about the feud, and it's a great feud, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm on it, and I had my task was to, as a defense attorney, was to defend 5.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man, that's a
how'd
tough
that
one.
Good.
go?
I mean, I think I
I like that role. I was in law school for a little bit. I love those fake mock.
yeah.
hearings
Like
and
I had to go from 5 side.
Yeah,
And I could make a
you
case.
can make a great case
I
for
could
5.
make a case that he turned, like, where he wound up was McNabbish, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame, but he had a chance to become beloved. And events conspired against
So were
him.
you defending him to like
with T.O.
his naysayers
Because
against
T-
T.O. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you had T.O. And in truth, I mean, let's face it. Like,
I mean, T.O.'s a kookaloo.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
T.O. came in here hot, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and everybody loved him.
And he got the song, T.O.
And it's like, you know, forget the quarterback. And then he got jealous, and there was a bunch of other things. And there were events that led up to McNabb acting the way he did too.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyway,
This is defense would be like,
give
hey,
it a watch. Give it a watch. It's fun.
is it?
Yeah, it's on True TV.
It's out now?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
I'll check that out.
Gotta tell TV Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, lots to get to today from the editor's desk. And we got Pat McClune. In fact, Uncle Frank said, "Oh, Pat's coming on today. I gotta pour myself a Guinness."
Yeah, nice. Uncle Frank with an
It's
early,
nice that
early Guinness.
That's a good combo.
it is. It's nice that Pat inspires our viewers
To drink.
to have a Guinness.
It's like a life goal. It's a goal of mine to inspire people to have beer.
Dude, that margarita yesterday, that's all I can think about. You sent me the picture.
Yeah, I know. I was throwing down the Pabst lights last night.
I need a day, man. I need a day. Maybe that'll get me summered up.
Yeah, you gotta get
there you
summered up,
go.
man.
I'm not summered up.
Yeah, a little outside drinking in the
I'm
nice.
just thinking about football
weather.
in the fall.
In town, get you in Center City with a little curbside margarita.
I used to love that.
Yeah.
Phil's on the TV in the background.
Yeah, but I'm missing this again. Summer. The issue is, and maybe it's because
We still got two months before summer even hits. We're just in spring, man.
I know. You know what it is? The lack of Sixers Flyers playoffs, because that's the rite of passage for spring.
Yeah. I totally understand that, but you know, we gotta deal. We gotta
You're right.
eat
And
our
we're not
vegetables. The
even at-
Sixers is
We're not even in
but
summer
the Flyers
yet.
we got coming, man. I'm excited for this. We got this lotteries coming up.
I know.
Then we got a good
no, I feel
offseason.
you, but I like the games.
I mean, the Flyers haven't been in the playoffs and relevant in a while, so
Yeah.
so we got something new. We're looking forward to hockey off season.
Yeah.
The frenzy, hot stove, hockey hot
Well,
stove.
the hockey hot stove really will be next year.
Let's just think. Give me some hope.
You know, I'm just trying to give you the lay of the land.
I got it, but I want to get hyped up for this
I
off
know.
season.
I know. We'll get the schedule coming out May 14th.
You already got the opener. We handicapping the Eagles Rams opener.
Yeah, we're going to be talking football. Eagles. We'll be talking Eagles all summer.
No, man, we'll
It's gonna be one of those
Hall of Fame
because
game.
here's the problem, right?
It's a Hall of Fame
Like,
game.
here's the problem with the Phils is that they're a good team.
Mhm.
We know their flaws,
They're not sexy.
right? But we know their flaws, right?
Yes.
They're a good team, and you go, all right. You got a bullpen issue and an outfield issue.
Yes.
All right. How does it play itself out? And
They'll get bullpen help and they'll get outfield help.
maybe I need that kid every night. I need the kid
Oh,
at every game.
let's give the kid his props. His name is Princeton Bailey. Alex Coffey did a whole spread on him on Philly.com. He's a 12-year-old. He's there with his grandpa. His first game, it's her first baseball game ever.
Really?
That
He
was his
does
first
it.
game.
Oh,
He
that's
does it at
beautiful.
home with every pitch. They said he does it at home.
Oh,
he does it
man.
wherever he's
I
watching.
love Princeton. And he's
He
12.
goes by Prince.
Prince is the best.
Yeah,
And he's 12. He's
It's a great
Massimo's
name.
age.
yeah. His grandpa Troy. Good work by
Like, that's
Grandpa
Massimo's
Troy.
age. Like, I love
Yeah.
that.
So Alvarado's got his agent reaching out to him to hook him up, bring him back, give him a bunch of gear and stuff.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Oh, that's
He's got to
awesome.
be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love you, Prince. All right, let's talk about some of our friends, shall we?
Summer's coming
Yeah.
slowly, but the sun is out already. So protect
Yeah.
those eyes. You don't want to be squinting. See what's going on. And Shady Rays is here to help you out because Shady Rays, they got premium polarized sunglasses that won't break the bank. Shady Rays, independent sunglass company, offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their sunglasses have durable frames. They got crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all your outdoor activities, even just sitting at the beach or sitting outside. These make the world seem a little nicer and the sky a little bluer. With so many colors available, you can find a perfect pair for you or a perfect pair to match your favorite team. And check this out. If your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, you don't sweat it because they have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by their lost or broken replacement program. And just if you don't love your shades, exchange them for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team's always got your back with fast and personal support. So PHLY viewers, listeners, go to shadyrays.com and save 35% off polarized sunglasses with the code PHLY. That's 35% off. Code PHLY. Over 300,000 people have rated Shady Rays 5 stars, so use the code PHLY at shadyrays.com.
All right, it's a Bet Part Thursday. Bet PARX Thursday. That means it's a Fightins' Day. Today, Taiwan Walker.
Over. Pound the over.
Well, last night, the Schwarber, that hit.
Like a one-handed Schwarber.
Yeah, right? So,
He's crazy.
you know, a Schwarber, a Kep bomb.
Kep, last 7 games, he's hitting 294.
Yeah.
Turning around.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good day for the bombs yesterday, for the Fightins.
Yeah.
Listen, you can bet on all that stuff right on the Bet PARX Sportsbook online casino app. That's right. Live betting is better on the Bet PARX app. That means playoffs, big hockey playoffs tonight. 4 games, 6s tonight. It's going to be great theater. You could play it all, right? And then with the baseball, you got hits, homers, strikeouts.
Edmonton's 165, minus 165 tonight.
I know. Go Kings.
Golden Knights are minus 162.
Yeah, go Wild. I'm rooting Wild Kings.
I know you are.
You know, there's always another way to win on the Bet PARX Sportsbook online casino app. All right, like live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, like VG plays. The hot online slots. VG, what do you want now?
Blue Wizard. Fireblaze Blue Wizard. Some like Merlin guy comes up, gives you bonuses.
Dude, I can see him gummied up playing the Blue Wizard.
Come on, Wizard. Come on.
And he's talking to the Wizard.
The fireballs come out of his
Throw a
hand.
little Black Sabbath on, play a little Blue Wizard.
Come on, Blue Wizard.
Yeah, watching the Phillies in the background.
That's
That's so
margarita.
VG. That is so VG.
Sounds great.
That is. That's awesome. That's a fun day at the VG household. So make sure you replicate it with the Bet PARX Sportsbook online casino app. In fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. You got to be 21. BetParx.com has all the details. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. This portion of the show brought to you by the Bet PARX Sportsbook online casino app. And let's welcome to the show Pat McClune from the editor's desk.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
This just in, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. It's time for headlines from the editor's desk with Pat McClune.
Good morning, Pat.
How are you, boys?
up,
How's
Pat?
it going?
We say, buddy.
Let's do a triage of the beginning of the show. I have been accused of having a mind meld with you, Anthony, and I'm fine with that. It does me honor that I think like you do. But you're batting a solid 500. Nothing wrong with that this morning. Totally with you on LeBron. There's just something about him. My son Tom thinks he's the greatest player ever, and something about him. He's never done anything wrong. You got to admire the longevity. He's got a body like no one else in the world, and he's really something. But there's an annoyance to him.
What is it, Pat? I'm trying to figure it out. I keep going back to
I thought the
McNabb.
McNabb category, that was terrific. It's McNabbish. There's just something about him that it's like a lot of times he accomplishes something great and he's got it and he's walking out the door and then he turns around and does something that annoys you at the last minute. I mean, he could have the world and it's an annoyance.
Meanwhile, I don't know, but Jordan was cool, right? Like Jordan, he had a cigar. Like listen, and he wasn't like a good dude either, right? Like Mike had all kinds of warts. LeBron is a pristine gentleman, right? Like a good man. Mike, I don't know. Is that it? I hope that's not it because I want to root for the good guy.
Jordan would have won the league with the four of us if we threw Andrew in there with the three of us.
You would have.
You know, LeBron, he goes out, they're making super teams. His whole life is spent basically on getting people to surround LeBron to get him to another hurrah.
Yeah, that's kind of, you're right. That's kind of what it is.
You're not going to get away with the other part, though, Anthony. The summer take.
Yeah, Pat. That's it, Pat. Tell
In fact, I'm solidly with VG and Andrew there. In fact, I'll put it in terms that are dear to you, Anthony. I believe that the Eagles and the NFL and football season is God's way of apologizing that the summer's over.
That's well put.
He knows we're down and he needs to come with something big, and he gives us the NFL as a reward.
Now, once again, somebody with grown children and a house down the shore. All right? So
Pat's got a house down the shore.
No. I am America's guest, VG.
Nice.
I have a sister and brother-in-law in Seattle and a brother-in-law in Rehoboth Beach. And they couldn't be better people and more generous.
Oh, man. That's the way to do it.
Once again, a man with grown children.
I will find someone with younger kids who likes the shore in the summer. Not the shore of the summer.
Listen, at some point, when my kids are grown, I'll be like Pat, and I'll be enjoying. I'll go down to Tooch's house, right? The whole thing. But I can't do that.
You know what? I'm going to go to Tooch's house instead.
We should all go there and take our picture at Tooch's house.
That'd make me happy. That'd make me as happy as having a Guinness with Uncle Frank. I'm glad I'm driving him to drink.
Uncle Frank
and that
goes,
reminds me that
they know you. Like, oh, it's Pat today. I'm going to pour myself a Guinness. I was like, my man, I love it.
My first showdown there with you guys was picking the schedule. I came in and sat with you, and Uncle Frank was on, so I would love to be able to replicate that in a few weeks.
Oh, we'll do that. Yeah, we got to do that. We definitely got to do that. In fact, we should do a summer. We should do something down the shore.
I would love that.
You want to do something down the shore? Do a shore show?
I'll be doing a few Thursdays down the shore. I guarantee you that.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come to you. We'll figure something.
That'd be beautiful.
Pat, mark your calendars. July 31st. We're going to need a special edition from you. That's the Hall of Fame game. Lions and Chargers kick off the NFL season. July 31st. We'll want a breakdown of that.
Wow.
We'll want to handicap that game.
We only got to get through May, 31 days.
Yeah.
June, 30 days. July, 31 days.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
And then we got Pat.
Then it's back. Yeah. It's all back.
Pat, this defense could be.
Look, that, and you don't think I have that covered, Anthony? That is absolutely in the package here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will get to that. I got a little something for you on that. But looking at the week, boys, I'm going to start with pro sports. And again, for the guy that says that I sleep in corduroy pajamas and get a warm glass of milk, if he's on the chat, he's going to be dying because I'm going to go way back. But again, I used the way back to pull it into today. A guy named Dick Barnett died last week. Now, Dick Barnett played for these great Knicks teams in the 70s, and he had the funkiest left-handed jump shot. He would go up, and then he would not at the top of he would start coming down. He was left-handed. Then he would kick his legs up, and he had this real weird shot. But when he passed, it got me and a lot of people starting to throw around that everybody knew the entire rotation of that Knicks team with Walt Frazier and Earl Monroe, and then Dick Barnett and Mike Reardon as a guard, and then DeBusschere, Lucas, Willis Reed, and Bill Bradley. And it got me to thinking that the whole notion about, I don't know whether it is expansion or whatever, but back then we knew every team. We knew every team's rotations in every sport. We knew everybody's batting lineup. I don't know whether it had to do with baseball cards. But today, the only thing that's even remotely like it is, I think, by virtue of fantasy football, I think young people really know the NFL up and down. But there's something missing with the other teams. And I threw out some knowledgeable sports people and my boys. Could you name me the rotation of the Cavaliers and the Houston Rockets? And my son Tom spit it right back to me. And then I said, how many players can you name on the?
You got to go with Amen Thompson.
Yeah. How many guys can you name on the Twins and Pirates? And they came back with like one or two guys. And it just strikes me that we follow sports a lot differently now. We just don't have those intimate knowledge of the teams. Now let's forget about you and
I think I can name
your freakish memory.
I think I can name the Twins lineup, or at least 5
right now.
Yeah, I know you can see. I have nothing. I have no tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah.
All right. Julian is the second baseman. Jeffers is the catcher. Larnach is one of the outfielders. Correa is at shortstop. And then I got to think a little bit.
Who'd you say the catcher was?
Jeffers.
Yes.
And then I got to think about it. There's a kid. Anyway, I don't want to mess up the show, but I could probably, if I think, I could probably get 2 or 3 more.
You get one more for sure.
Well, hopefully Cody Clemens is in that lineup at some point.
But here's my only thing, right? And I think you're on to something. But one of the things that makes you know, the kids know, at least my son, is they play the show. MLB The Show.
Yes. Yeah.
I think the video games help that.
That's true.
And we
it certainly helps with the NFL again with Madden. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And I think there are people that are like, don't even care about the sport like Andrew does in soccer, but they like the video game as it relates to soccer.
Yes.
So, yeah. But it's just the notion of how different things were. My son Pat was thrilled that our 4-year-old Patrick wants baseball cards. And he's got like a little book that he keeps the baseball cards in.
I love that.
We can't get him any Phillies. We keep going through the packs because, you can't cheat. Back in the day, I would have got Ted Taylor to give him the whole Topps lineup or something like that. But, it was just a great throwback to the differences now and then, and the fact that there were only maybe, 8, there were so fewer teams in the leagues that made it. But, yeah, the difference goes from knowledge and baseball cards down to fantasy teams and video games. So it's interesting how it's changed over the years.
Yeah, it is. You're right. No, you're right. Let me ask you a question. Was Earl Monroe from Philadelphia?
Yes, Earl Monroe went to Bartram. Yes.
He feels like he's under, because he had one of the greatest nicknames ever, Black Jesus.
Right. And the Pearl, yes.
Like, what it feels like he has been under. Shouldn't there be something about like a movie or something about him?
Yeah, there should. There really should. In fact, one of the things that's coming out that I'm really looking forward to is Mike Jensen's kind of devoted his life, his post-buyout life, to writing a book about Philadelphia hoops. And it's going to be how Jensen's going to get reined in on the length of that thing is, I think he's struggling with that now. But he kept kind of touting to people that he was down one interview. His one white whale of an interview, he just couldn't get it. He couldn't get it. And I knew exactly what it was. And he finally got it. He finally got the Earl. And that's the one that Mike really wanted. And you can't tell the story without Earl, And Earl's another guy who was just a phenomenal player who back then the opportunities weren't there. John Chaney was another guy that was a great example of it. So he went to a historically, one of the historically black schools. And I think Earl played at Winston-Salem State, which is where Stephen A. Smith definitely went. But yeah, Earl was that public league, and that was the truth back then. I'll tell you.
Well, that'd be outrageous. That'd be fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, moving on. I'm going to go to something, and you started talking about this, and let's go to Sixers/Flyers. And the headline there would be "Sitting Out Spring," and it's brutal.
It is,
and it's funny. The headline, the art that I put up there, I told Andrew, is this doesn't seem right, but I was trying to find something from 2007 when the two teams missed, and if you see the thing that's folded over there, it says that the Sixers. No playoffs for the Sixers or whatever. But I just thought this was a great back page. It was when the Phillies just started rolling in 2007. It's got a great headline, Ace Backwards, in which the Phillies took Brett Myers and made him the closer. And I just thought it was a good headline, but it's not necessarily germane to the topic.
It's a great cover.
But,
yeah.
I mean, and some of the stuff you're talking about as it relates to the summer is definitely – this is brutal, not having the Sixers or Flyers in it.
Yeah, because I almost feel like summer's here. You know why? Because we're such creatures of sports that it's just all Phillies. So if it's all Phillies, it must be summer. But it's been all Phillies for 2 weeks now.
It's way too early for it to be all Phillies. It's just not right.
Right.
And we haven't had it since 2017. And, the Flyers... the Flyers haven't been in 9 of the last 13 years. It's time that's got to change.
Yeah.
And that's got to change soon. During the process years, we had a couple years in a row where, the two teams didn't make it, but this is Philadelphia. One of them's got to make it. And it raises the question, is one of them going to make it next year?
So I think the Flyers make it next year. I think that they'll be good enough to.
If they can get
the goalie will be the whole thing.
If they get just a mediocre goalie, I think they make the playoffs.
Yeah, just a mediocre goalie. That would be great. And I mean, if Embiid can play, they'll make the playoffs. I mean, hey, listen, everybody was looking forward to the summer with the way the Sixers have been because they just drive every year getting that close and driving you crazy.
I don't know what to do with them, Pat. Like, honestly, I look at him and Embiid holds you hostage. It just does. Like, I don't know what you could do.
Yeah, no two ways about it. We just have to take our laughs where we can and enjoy Ben Simmons' last shot. He took one shot yesterday. He has yet to hit the rim in last night's action.
You have it, Andrew? Get it.
Oh, brutal. It was the other thing that's great about it is Jokic was guarding him. And Jokic kind of almost backpedaled when he got the ball to say, go ahead, big boy. There you go. You're at 15. Do whatever you want. I'm not going anywhere near you. And, of course, our guy tried to back him down, and then what he threw up was
comical.
Really?
I got to find it. Yeah, it's like a 5-foot air ball.
Oh,
yeah,
my God. You ever see a player who's that challenged, a basketball player? Like, how can you be that bad of a shooter?
I don't understand it.
Like, and possess
he
the
doesn't
skills
even
that
know whether he's right-handed or left-handed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got it, Andrew? Here it is. Thanks, Andrew.
Great work, Andrew.
Oh, my God. Look at this.
He's like at the elbow with the
there
ball.
are people who don't think he's the MVP.
Look at him back off.
As a matter of fact, that's going to be a close race. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ew. Good job, Andrew. Ew, that's ugly.
It's outrageous.
Oh, you're right. Jokic is like this. Go ahead. Shoot it.
Yes.
I dare you. I double dare you.
We've all played. Could you imagine being 6'10", 6'11", airball on a 5-footer?
Oh, my God.
There isn't a kid on that St. Margaret's team that wouldn't have just pulled up at 15 and either hit it or rattled it off the rim.
Yeah.
Nobody's throwing up that slop that he's throwing up at age 11 or 12.
Oh, my God. You're right. Oh.
That's like $30 million
I
a
don't
year.
miss that, man. I don't miss that.
See? It's good. It's good they're not here right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right, moving along. We're going to go with the Phillies thing. and the headline there is 30-somethings. And you'll see that I'm going to follow this up as it's a discussion of age in two franchises. But with the Phillies, who, are doing okay, and I'll use JT as the poster guy, the Phillies need to start backfilling there. I mean, you're looking at a team that like 6 of the 9 are well into their 30s, and the 3 guys that aren't are Marsh, Bohm, and Stott. I'm very happy with Stott in the leadoff right now. That looks like I swear, I think Stott's a confidence thing, and I think he's starting to pick it back up again.
Yeah, I think you're right. Spot on about that.
The Phillies are, and you can't solve everything with another $300 million contract while you still have the others. But, you look at it, Schwarber's 32, Harper's 32, Turner's 31, JT's 34, Castellanos is 33, and Kepler's 32. They'll be good for a few more years, but it's reasonable to think that some of these guys, I think we've seen the best of JT Realmuto is probably in the rearview mirror at this point of his career.
Hey, this is the anti-Joe Banner team.
Absolutely.
You're
and
spot
we will
on.
Bring that out in a big way. Aside from the fact that we'll point out the ages and stuff, let's not overlook the fact that Joe had that reputation that when great players like Dawkins all turned 30, boom, they were gone. Now he has the benefit of NFL contracts as opposed to MLB contracts.
Right.
Because, a lot of that stuff wasn't guaranteed and you could make your move. But, the point is, I'll tell you what, in my mind, because the pitching too, Wheeler's 34, Nola's surprisingly only 31, and some of the other guys are in their 20s. We got a lot riding on Andrew Painter in my mind, Anthony. Andrew Painter has to be the man for a couple years to come. He's going to have to be. Yeah. He's got to be somebody that's got to be, not right away, but boy, I hope he's everything he's built up to be. Well, because the Phillies are going to need some, young guns.
Yeah. And Aiden Miller has to be the truth.
Yes. Yeah. They have to have these guys. Maybe Tate comes up eventually as the catcher. But it's not so much that even when they're, Schwarber's hitting, Harper's always at it and whatever. But when they were losing there, they kind of looked old, which is bad. They just didn't seem to have a lot of juice.
Yeah.
And, you can, if you look young and dumb or whatever, you can kind of work your way through it. But, I think they're good. I think they're going to be good. But, boy, they're got to start the mind. You got to start. You can't thinking about rolling that team over again for a few more years and thinking you're going to get the result. They got it. Now starts after this year that they got it. Somebody, that's the shame. I thought Stott was going to be a flat-out all-star. I don't feel that way now. I think he's going to be a good player, but 18 months ago, I would have felt that Stott and Bohm were guys that were going to be able to help you bridge there. And we'll see. But it's
shows you how rare. It's crazy. It shows you how rare the Utley, Howard, Hamels, right? Like that crew that all came up, how rare that was.
Very rare. And they came up and then they were good for really long. Yeah. And the Phillies hung on to that too long. So there's a lesson. There's a lesson in that. But these guys growing up together like Utley, Rollins, and Howard, that was a remarkable thing. And look how lucky we were. Hey, look, we could be the Rockies 5-25. That's hard to do.
Yeah, they stink.
Rockies won to make it 5-25. There's some bad squads out there. The White Sox 7-22 again. That franchise. Oh, there's some dreck out there. Now, to the Phillies' credit, they're handling the dreck. Let's see how they do against the good teams. But part of getting to that 90 wins is you got to be able to dispose of teams like the Nats and Rockies.
So just for a conversation, where do you think the Phillies come in as far as average age in them?
I actually know that. They are at bookies.com helped me with this and the next one. The Phillies, I think, were last season, maybe it's this year, they were the 6th oldest team in baseball. Okay. Is that right?
I'm on ESPN. This year, they are 15th at 28.8. Now, the only teams younger than them that are good, Boston's right about the same age, and Cleveland. Cleveland's 27.4.
How can that be? How can they be 15th?
Yeah, this was last year. The Dodgers were the oldest team in baseball.
Dodgers are second oldest this year at 30.6 years old.
Okay.
Texas is the oldest.
And I'm not sure what would have dropped them that dramatically, the Phillies, because Kepler didn't help. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe they're looking at the whole 25, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's
but
a whole roster.
I had them as one of the older teams, at least last year.
Because it should be your starting 9 and rotation.
I'll see if I can find that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I kind of look at some of the other teams. I mean, the Mets, Alonso's 30, Lindor 31, Soto's only 26, Vientos is 25. The Braves, Olson's 31, Riley's 28, Ozuna's 34, Acuna's 25, Michael Harris is 24. So some of the teams the Phillies are battling with have some young studs, that's for sure.
I'm just looking at the Philly schedule. To your point, you know, there is a spot where it's going to get really real, right? It comes later. It's June 20th. They have Mets at Houston, at Atlanta, home San Diego, home Reds, at Giants, at San Diego.
Not a breather in the bunch.
That's a tough stretch. And to me, that's when we'll learn how good they are. Like, I believe they're a good team, but older team, like, to your point, I'm curious to see how you navigate that stretch.
Yes. And maybe that's, maybe that's the kind of stretch that you start. Maybe that's when Painter comes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should get fat in May because they have a stretch of Cardinals, Pirates, Rockies, A's. 4 series in a row that they should smoke all 4 teams. And then the Braves.
Yeah, that'll help you.
Yeah, May,
going into
May
that
should
stretch.
pad it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to load up. Yep. Yeah. Now, moving on to our Eagles, the other way around, the headline there is Young and Dangerous.
Yeah.
And again,
VG.
The bookies.com last year would tell you that the youngest team in football with an average age of 25 years and 7 months was the Packers. Last year, the Eagles were 6th. But get this. The Eagles defense, Anthony, the Packers were 25-7. The Eagles starting defense, average age, is 23.9. That's a year and a half younger than the youngest team in football.
Wow.
Now, granted, I'm including Campbell and Makuba in that starting lineup.
No, you should. Yeah.
But even if you change that out to Nakobe and Sidney Brown, they're both under 25. And, the Eagles have 9 of their 11 starters 25 and under. 9 of 11.
Wow.
Gonna be good for a while.
I'll tell you what, man. Vic's got something, and if they can afford they really have the chance to be something special. I mean, really something special. Yeah. It almost brings up the point.
We'll get there.
It almost brings.
Real quick, before you go on, I want your observant, right? Put that, Andrew, put that picture of Jahad Campbell back up, right? Pat, look at Jahad Campbell, right? Tell me he does not have a great face First of all, it's
Well,
a local
listen,
face.
he is the face of a guy that knows he's coming to the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's a happy man.
I don't know what it is. I already love the kid. Like he has
There's
a
a
great
jolliness
demeanor.
about him.
He's got a good smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not. The kid looks like a great kid. Like just a great dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there's Philadelphia people, we have a thing.
Yeah.
He's got, he's one of us, the kid.
Yeah. Looks like, I don't know, just a happy, friendly
He's
face.
jolly
Feels like
jihad
warm when you
right
see
there
him.
is who he is.
Say it again, Pat.
But, do the Eagles need a veteran leader? Who's the leader of that group? I mean, Vic's the leader of that group. Is Bourne the leader of that group? Bourne's 28. The only two starters that are older than 25 are Blankenship and Bourne. Both young guys.
Yeah, I think they're fine. Like I'm not a big believer that you have to have the elder statesman. Like the year of the collapse in the slide, they had Jason Kelsey on one side and Fletcher Cox on the other.
That's true. Yes. Yeah. And then, they've won a Super Bowl since Kelsey and Cox have left.
Well, that's what I mean.
But they had BG last year, and Sweat had been around for a little while.
Yeah.
And,
see, the one I think you
Slay,
worry about is you worry about Carter, right?
Yes.
Because Carter's a football player, right? But Carter's, he's intense, right? And I think that's where the big Dom comes to play. I think where Dom, I think that's that piece. Like you need him to, keep Jalen right.
Right. And then, listen, as you get older, it's hard to play that whole game. So hopefully he maintains that kind of conditioning level that was crazy what was demanded of him last year.
I know. He's just a beast, but he's also scary. Like teams are afraid of him.
Yeah. He punched a few guys in the mouth. Yeah. There's something a little. Yeah, he's got that demonic look about him at times. Yeah.
You need that. You're going to have a great defense. You need that. You need that kind of guy to set the tone on a defense. Who is the best defense? Give me the best defenses of this century. If you start with the Ravens in 2000, right? Who else you got?
Well, to me, it's an obvious three. It's the Ravens of 2000. It is whatever year you want to make as the peak Buddy Ryan Eagles defense, and it's the '85 Bears.
Well, no, go. But I'm going to ask you this though, because I agree with you.
Oh, this century.
This century.
I see. I'm sorry.
This century. You started Ravens 2000.
Right.
Who else you got? You got the Broncos. Remember the year Peyton was at the end and he could barely throw. They won because of their defense. They harassed Cam Newton.
Right. Yeah, nothing jumps out at you, certainly. That's for sure. The Patriots are the team that won that most, and they were a solid defense, but there was never a defense that you thought was going to swallow you up. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah. It's the Ravens. It's the Ravens, and now for the next 4 years, my God,
PHLES.
And I love what this sets up. This sets up them feeding the beast of the offense.
Yes.
In sowing drafts.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting another receiver, another running back, feeding that line left and right. They're really set up. I'm really hopeful that your guy Matt Rule's right. That guy, our guy Ty, he seems like the perfect complement in there. Now, if you're looking at Jordan Davis, Carter, Ty, Ajomo, and Booker, I feel really good about defensive tackle all of a sudden.
So do I. Let's go. Forget summer, BG. Let's go, man.
Can't wait to dip my toes in a pool.
Now the summer does include training camp, so that's another benefit of summer,
Yes.
But
Right.
But look, nothing beats summer. Nothing's even close in my mind. But now, the last one I held out for obvious reasons, and
right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to take a minute, do a commercial, and then lead back into you guys. All right.
Okay.
Is DJ?
Because I recognize greatness popping up on the screen, and we'll deal with that. Let's do that.
See it. Right. This will be great. All right, because this is legendary to have Pat and Dick Jerardi.
Now I want a beer.
All right. But first, let's talk about some of our sponsors before we get to the Kentucky Derby, Dick Jerardi, and the great Pat McClune. All right, what do we got?
A little TrueMark.
Love TrueMark. Kelly Body,
man. TrueMark's got the thing to get your kids how to handle their money right. If you're a TrueMark financial member, you got a fantastic opportunity to help your kids and teens learn how to earn, save, and spend wisely with their totally free Greenlight account. This is pretty cool. It comes with a Greenlight app, and the app's a total game changer for your kids, whether they're setting savings goals, learning how to track their spending, or even getting their allowance. You all do it right through the app, right at your fingertips. And check this out. Each kid gets their own debit card so they can make real-world purchases, learn how to budget, get those real-world money skills, and you get peace of mind. They get the chance to make smart, reasonable choices with their money, and you stay in control of everything all through the app. So if you're looking for a way to teach your kids some financial plays, we can't recommend this enough. It's like training your kid for the biggest game. So head over to truemark.com/greenlight to get all the details and sign up today. And don't miss your chance to set your kids up for financial success. truemark.com/greenlight. And hey, man, spring's here. The flowers are blooming. Allergies are acting up. And low prices are blooming over at Ashley Furniture. You can save up to 50% off living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms and have it all delivered free, plus long-term no-interest financing. Super important. And you can also save on top brand mattresses. Get free delivery, free setup, and the all-important free mattress removal. But don't wait. Spring into savings now at Ashley, South Jersey, and Philadelphia. Financing is with approved credit. Minimum purchase required. Some exclusions may apply. See stores for complete details. Hurry over to ashleyfurniture.com or visit their stores in South Jersey and Philadelphia. Ashley.
Oh, my. Now, this portion of the program is brought to you by Rite Aid.
Oof.
Allergies.
Stopped there yesterday and got some Allegra.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Now, joining us, let's get back to Pat and the legend himself, Dick Jerardi. Now, this is like Daily News heaven.
Oh, I feel like I'm watching Daily News Live.
Like this is Daily News heaven.
Yeah.
So, Pat,
Daily News Live all over again.
Before you get into your number one headline with the Derby, tell us about Dick Jerardi and how you found him.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll pull it all together. Is that the thing that relates to the Derby is I just needed to be able to justify a headline, and the headline is "Who said journalism is dead?" and that's because, hey, what's with the double T there on Pat? Anyway, the editor's spoken. But anyway,
sorry about that.
It's the story of my life, Anthony. Thank you, Andrew. If it is, I knew that it was interesting that there is a horse named journalism. I also thought it was interesting that there's a horse named publisher in the race. But I needed to know if I could speak about it. So if I want to speak comfortably about anything relating to the horses, there's only one person to talk to. And that is the person that, I obviously had the brother-in-law with Rich Hoffman, but the person that I asked for more guidance and trusted more than anybody on that staff is Dick Jerardi for a number of reasons. First of all, Dick does not mind telling you if you're wrong, and that's needed at times. The other thing is that how many people are of Hall of Fame quality in not one but two sports? And that's the whole interesting thing that, it'd be interesting to ask Dick about, because, and I could be wrong about this part, but I had lunch yesterday with Les Bowen and Damo, and it was great. And we went to a place called Tommy's Tavern, and it was in a mall where Garden State Park used to be. And
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's why we hired Dick, because Garden State Park was coming up. Now, he might have been before that, but we had world-class coverage in all 4 pro sports, in the colleges, in boxing. But then the Daily News found the absolute best person to cover the horses. Nobody anywhere can cover the horses like Dick. And Anthony, as it relates to you and what's important to you is, Dick knows the things and he knows the betting, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. But what makes Dick great and what made somebody that wasn't really obvious to the horses is Dick is a master storyteller, which you can relate to. And Dick made the horses interesting because of the people that are involved in horse racing.
Yes.
And he did it like nobody else. So before I kick it over to the great man himself, I got to tell you, real funny, I asked him 2 things. I said, hey, I need to know whether journalism's real. I'll let him answer it. And then I said, my son Dan's going to the Derby. And the last time Dan went to a Triple Crown race was he went to the Preakness in 2018. And I asked DJ, give me a trifecta. And I gave Dan $20. And Dan turned that $20 into $1,100 for me on Jerardi's trifecta. So I'm rolling with DJ's trifecta again this weekend, boys. Dan's going to get, and I'm going to plow him with more money. And I know it's a hell of a long shot. But between the betting aspect and, more importantly for my money, the storytelling aspect, and then later in his career, Dick kind of said, hey, guys, if you need an extra hand, I'll be happy to go cover the colleges for you. And he went out and he did it, and he started with Speedy and LaSalle, and he's a Hall of Fame college basketball writer. So I'll find a couple things to give Dick a hard time about, but now it's nothing but praise to my book.
What do you say, brother?
Well, so the story is that I got hired in the middle of February 1985 to cover Garden State Park, exactly as Pat said, which opened, ironically enough, on April 1st of 1985. There was another famous Philadelphia event that happened that night, and I spent the entire night with Stan Hochman watching Philadelphia beat Georgetown in the press box at Garden State Park. And that was an omen for, as Pat said, a couple of years later, I raised my hand. I think Brian Toolin was the sports editor at the time. I said, Brian, if you ever need anybody to cover college hoops, send me out. They sent me to a LaSalle Holy Cross game, Pat, at Old Heyman Hall, because the Palestra was not available. And that was my introduction to Speedy and a freshman named Lionel Simmons, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow. That was your first game you covered. Did you, back then, did you have the Tandy? How did you write?
Correct. I had one of those little Radio Shacks where you could put like 2.5 stories on them.
Right.
And then you had to delete the other ones, because I want to say 30,000 characters.
Right.
Was what it had. It's actually crazy. I originally had one of those, what were those things called, Pat? Telorams? They were
Telorams.
They weighed like 30 pounds. I had that. And then at some point we got the Radio Shacks, which were just easier to deal with.
The Telorams back in the office emitted this toxic fume that I'm telling you have shortened the lives of some desk people around the country. That thing. And it would come onto a piece of paper and you'd have to retype it anyway.
Yeah. The one I had, printed it out on paper, and then somehow I put it in a phone with the couplers, and it somehow would get to the office. I have no idea how any of that happened, but that's the origin story. I got hired by Mike Rathett and Brian Toolin to cover Garden State Park, where Pat had lunch the other day, which was the racetrack of the 21st century, and it barely made the 21st century.
Wow. That was in Cherry Hill, right? The Garden State was
correct.
Yeah. Wow. And that was like back then, all the characters, I mean, that's the height. Like, I'm so interested in Philadelphia during that period of time because you had the confluence of, like, you had, especially Cherry Hill, because you had a lot of the mob guys there, at the track and at the club, Valentino's, and you had all this confluence of Philadelphia and all the stuff going on in the city. I mean, it was an interesting time period.
It predates me, but the Latin Casino was right there, right with Frank Sinatra. Used to be a regular there. I don't, Pat, I think, and Anthony, I think I was gone by 85, but correct me if I'm wrong. I remember spending some nights at the old Diamond Diner right down the road on 70, and it was night racing at Garden State Park. That was the big deal about it. And it was Bob Brandon was the guy that was running it. Remember the old First Jersey Securities guy. I referred to him as he was like the great Gatsby. That's who he reminded me of. He was like, he was one of these guys. He could talk anybody into anything. Like his stock, which I think was selling at like $13 a share when the track first opened, was at like 25 cents a share, like a year or two later. And I went to a stockholders meeting and I'm thinking, these people are not going to be happy at all. By the end of the meeting, they were asking for his autograph. This guy was brilliant.
Oh my God. That had to be, how much did you devote to covering horse race? Like back then, I remember pages of it in the paper.
Yeah, I did at the beginning, Pat will remember this, I did what's called a graded handicap, where you would literally, every horse in every race would get a comment, and it was time consuming. In addition to that, I'd write something, but I was more hired at the beginning to like give my selections, like who do you like, which was a huge deal. And frankly, and I know I've told this story to Pat, I learned how to write by reading all the great writing in the paper. And we had some legendary writers when I got there.
You weren't a writer in Maryland?
I mean, I wrote a little bit, but yeah, frankly, I didn't know what the hell I was doing until I got to Philadelphia and read like Stan and Ray Didinger and all the John Schulian we had back then, Mark Wicker. I mean, all the legends, Phil Jaster, Jay Greenberg, all the great
Gary
beat
Smith,
writers we had. So, I mean, it was. I remember coming. Actually, the first couple of weeks I came to the paper, I stayed with our friend Jack Gibbons, who lived in Wallingford before we got a place up here, and I would come up to what was then called Philadelphia Park / Keystone, now PARX, and I would stop and read the paper on the way while I had breakfast, and it would take me like an hour and a half just to read the sports section. It was, I mean, you remember, that was like 30 or 40 pages.
It was the greatest thing in the world. You know what's funny? I would be lying to you if I said I didn't spend nights recently trying to figure out how to recreate it, because I know there's an interest. I know that people in this town love sports. I know they like to read good stuff, right? I know that there's something there. It's trying to figure out the economic model. And I try to think about it constantly. That's not just subscription. It's got to be it's got to be half and half, but there's got to be a way to recreate this because the art of it still lives. I still think the interest is there, guys.
And, talk about adaptability. I mean, Dick went from being a handicapper to a writer that could tell these stories, became one of our finest writers of all time. And then he kind of flowed into if Comcast Sportsnet had their way, he would have been on Daily News Live every night because it was just natural to him. And I get that people weren't up for three poorly dressed guys next to Michael Barkan and talking sports and stuff. But I'll tell you what, that show more than holds up and passes the test of time. If you look back at that show now, and put it up to what's being done today, we look pretty damn good.
I love that show, and I'll tell you, there was a charm. Yeah, I think the charm of it, and VG, jump into this thing too, because you watched the show. There was a charm of this whole concept of having guys that really understood the games, that were at the events, that were chronicling the games and the stories, and the fact that they were dressed that bar feel to it was interesting. And the conversation was intelligent. It was great. Like my beef, and listen, I get radio, and I love, I love the medium. I worked there a long time, but some of the stuff that's lost is the intelligent discourse, right? And look, I'm not saying you got to be, but there's a charm to having a really great discussion about sports. It feels like, Dublin in the 1800s over a pint. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, these guys, they were cool guys, though. You know what I mean? It was like there's no pretenses. They weren't screaming. They weren't doing anything. They're knowledgeable, but just cool. Just all guys you just want to sit with and talk. I used to rush home from work every day and watch that at like 5 o'clock, I think, when it aired. It was the best, man. I miss that totally.
What do you think?
5 to 6:30 for a long time. Pat, how many years?
Did they give you a makeover on that show at one point? They gave a makeover
did.
to someone.
Yeah, it was around. I'm going to get the timing right. I think it was around 2002. I remember it was it was about the same time as the legendary Iverson practice press conference after they lost to the Celtics in the playoffs. It was right around that era. But yeah, they decided that they wanted to make us look a little better, and obviously I was dressed about as bad as anybody on the show. And yeah, and then I got a free suit, and that night Karen and I went to the Elton John Billy Joel concert and sat up in a Comcast box. So yeah, it was like in Tom Sawyer, right, when he got everybody to paint the fence. So yeah, it worked out well.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I love that show. Was a great show, man. It was a great idea. How was it born, Pat?
Well, I mean, the guys that go back to, again, it was Mike Rathett, and it was a guy named Sam Schroeder on Comcast end, and then Tom Stathakis, who I think the world of. They brought him in from Channel 3, and it was basically, the show was born to give credence to Comcast Sportsnet. The first show ever in the history of Comcast Sportsnet, and it was in the area of like December the 1st, 1995. Comcast Sportsnet went on the air with a half-hour show about the making of that staff. How Stathakis and Jim Cudahy went about and got Michael and Leslie Goodell and Dee Lynam and Neil Hartman, and how they acquired the talent. And that was from 4:30 to 5. And then from 5 to 6:30, it was Daily News Live. And they went right in. And, the other thing they did is that regional sports network, one of the things I did, and I did it happily, was they would go much like PHLY is doing, going into other towns. They went into other towns, and in order to establish themselves, they would go to Dallas, and they would go to the morning news and start a show.
I mean,
and
look,
I'll never forget
we're owned by ALLCITY, right? So we're part of the ALLCITY. ALLCITY is our parent, right? And we just opened up Dallas, and we did the same thing where we went to Dallas Morning News and The Athletic. So a lot of our people are athletic people. So they did the same thing, which is, hey, let's go to the sports departments and get guys like Dick Jerardi, right? And go ahead, Pat. Give us all your best guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and look, you've got a nice network around the country, but let me make clear that the person who built the best staff in the city was you by far going away. That Philadelphia part, the guys you got quite a squad. Now, the one thing that I wanted to say as it relates to that was, so now they're going into New York, okay? And they want the Daily News. They want the New York Daily News. And the guy there at the time was Leon Carter, who I think is at the Athletic.
I remember now, Leon.
Like a Hall of Fame journalist. And I guarantee a guy that you're dealing with. And they would ask me to lay the ground, to say, to talk to them, that you're going to get approached about this show. And I went to Leon, and Leon's first reaction was, no. We get a big city to cover. We don't need any of that nonsense, which was a perfectly fine stance. And then we were going for a little while, and I said to Leon, who's a no-nonsense guy, I said, Leon, let me show you the beginning of the show. And it was the best branding thing ever. You got your logo revolving around and stuff like that. And I showed it to him, and I said, I get your stance. But let me tell you something. When you say no, they're going to go to the post. And how are you going to feel at 5 o'clock every day when a show comes on in the New York Post's logos revolving around and around and around? And Leon said, "Oh, I'll talk to them." And then they with the Daily News.
Oh yeah, that was real. That was a real war. Wow, that's a great story. I remember sitting with Leon. I interviewed me for a gig, and he was a good dude. And then and it was funny. And then that's a small world, man. Give me a great Dick Jerardi story, one of your favorites, as it pertains to his work.
Well, I could do 20 off the top of my head, but the one that I'll never forget, and I've actually said it on this show before, and it's related to horse racing. I was blessed when I became the sports editor and Mike left. And it's absurd that I had to fight for this, but I fought for the number 2 guy to be the guy I worked with at night, Caesar outside. So Caesar came in with me, and Caesar and I ran the show. And for years, guys like Dick and the writers that wanted to get a little bit extra or go on a little late, they dealt through Caesar, and it was great. Dick and Caesar went back to the University of Maryland, and I'm sure to this day, Caesar is certainly among the top 5 friends that Dick's ever had. And Dick's done some incredible work, but he told us a year before, I got news for you. Next year's Derby winner's running at Philly Park right now. Get out of here. I'm telling you. There's a horse named Smarty Jones, and he's going to win the Derby. DJ nailed that so early. We started covering anything Smarty Jones did anywhere 6 months before that 3-year-old season. Dick was all over it, and he covered it in a lot of ways, and he covered it hand in hand with Caesar because Caesar really knew the horses and spent a few days at a track with DJ. And Smarty Jones went on, and he won the Derby, and he won the Preakness, and it was a wild ride. And Dick's coverage, I'm sure he probably won Eclipse Awards for it. It was fabulous. But then on the day of the Belmont, with Smarty going for the Triple Crown, our friend Caesar passed that morning. Okay, and my job that day was to make sure that everybody on the staff heard personally from me that our friend, that the sports editor, had passed. And I knew the toughest call was to Dick. And, so I managed, and he was up at Belmont. So what I did was I called Karen. I called his wife and told her, and she was beside herself, upset. I said, Karen, what do you want me to do? And Karen said, don't tell him until after the race. I said, okay. So I had everybody on the staff. I couldn't find Les Bowen. I've got a piece of paper to this day writing down, knocking off everybody. And then I called DJ after the race to tell him, and Smarty does not win. Smarty loses the race, and Dick could tell you how, and he doesn't win the Triple Crown. So I called DJ. He's expecting a call about the coverage on a Saturday, and I tell him that Caesar had passed. And then I said to him, look, Dick, on Sunday, our job is to properly salute him in the Monday paper. And we did a really good job. And Rich Hoffman took a lot of weight on for the staff. And he wrote basically the obit of Caesar. But it could have used a personal column. And there was only one person that could do it, and it was Dick. And I said to Dick, I can't ask you to do it. I can't ask you to do it, but I want you to know that if you want to, it's there. And Dick, for the first time in his life, he hesitated a little bit with me because Dick usually knows exactly what he wants to say. And he hesitated and he said, you know what, I'll do it. And Dick laid down an unbelievable, heartfelt piece about Caesar that I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I'll send it to both. I'll find it and I'll send it to both
I
of you
would
guys.
love to. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Dick,
Yeah.
tell us about that moment.
Yeah, no, I remember like it was yesterday. I remember the call. I remember writing, I don't know how many stories on Smarty Jones losing to Belmont and that whole scene. And then I definitely remember writing a column about Caesar. And then his funeral was a couple days later, or the service was a couple days later. And then
Did Dick? Because I see Dick froze.
Yeah, he froze on us.
Is that us?
That's I think his connection.
Okay. All right. Once we get Dick back, we'll do that. I remember you saying that story, Pat. That was wow.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah, and it's funny. Something came up. I'm working with my friend Joe Hand on some things, and there's something to do with Deer Lake, and Deer Lake is where Ali trained.
Oh yeah.
And Dick's back, so I will segue to it to ask you for Dick to remember about Caesar, and then remember about Caesar and Dick Jerardi as Maryland undergrads driving up to Deer Lake and what happened next.
Right. So I think I went off for a second. So yeah, the Smarty Jones thing. Yeah, I do remember it, Pat. I remember you calling me. I remember writing the stories about the race, and then obviously writing the column about Caesar. And yeah, look, he and I were great friends from college on, and end up at the same paper after all those years is kind of amazing. So before Ali fought Foreman in 1974, Caesar and I want to say we picked him up in Delaware, another friend of mine from Baltimore. And we drove to Deer Lake for the day just to see Ali. I wasn't in the business. Caesar was already in the business at that point. And I'll never forget it. We got there maybe 9 a.m. and none of the other fans had showed up yet. So Ali comes out and he starts shadow boxing with us. And then he invites us in for breakfast, and he's watching what would then have been a film, I guess, of George Foreman fighting Ken Norton. I think it was in Caracas or somewhere, and blowing him out in like 2 rounds. And we're sitting there literally having breakfast with the most famous man in the world. It was astonishing. And I have exactly one autograph in my life that I've gotten, and that's it. I have an autograph of Ali on a program to a fight I went to a couple years before of his.
Wow, you sat with Ali up at Deer Lake having breakfast.
Correct.
Come on in, Caesar. like that's unbelievable.
That was it. Yeah, I mean, think about it. The chances of you getting near somebody like that today are 0. Right. So this is what it'll be 51 years in the fall when that fight took place. But yeah, we went up there in the summer before he went to Zaire. Remember, that fight was actually postponed for a while. They went to Zaire, then Foreman got cut. They had to postpone it for maybe a couple of weeks. But yeah, no, we were up there strictly as a fan. I mean, again, it was before I was in the business. And Ali was my sports hero growing up. He was my guy.
Oh, that's amazing. What a story. That's incredible.
And I wrote about it for the paper. I more than once, I think. I think I wrote about it again. I think somebody called me when the night Ali died. He died on a Friday night. I think Rich Hoffman was running the show back then, Pat. And Rich called me and says, "You got another one in you?" I said, "Oh, yeah. I can take care of it."
That's amazing. All right. So what do you think about all the derbies? All right. Before you get into this one and suss it out, like, of all those derbies, and take out Smarty Jones because that was personal. Give me the top 3.
Well, the best performance I saw live was Barbaro in 2006. It was awe-inspiring how great that horse was that day. I put it up there for the ones in the modern era. Now I can't go way back. To me, it's second to Secretariat. That's how good it was. He was that good. And then, of course, what happened in the Preakness and the rest of that story, it's one of those what-if stories.
Oh, damn. Oh, man. He froze.
Technology.
That's great. That would be an interesting story of him talking about all those derbies.
As well.
There he goes.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
You froze again, Dick, so go ahead.
Yeah. How far did I get?
You were talking about how great the Barbaro was.
Right. So the Barbaro race in '06 was the best I've ever seen live. To me, in the modern era, the only race that would be better in the Derby was Secretariat's Derby when he set the track record, which he still holds to this day. Other ones, obviously, being there for American Pharaoh in 2015. Did I know he was going to go on with the Triple Crown? I didn't, but just to be there for the beginning to see that. And for me, now, my first one as a fan was 1978. I saw Affirmed. And I flew down the day before from Baltimore, slept in the airport, and walked over to Churchill Downs the next day. Bet $200 when that was a lot of money, cashed my ticket, treated myself to dinner, went back to the airport, slept in the airport again, and flew home.
That's fantastic. All right, well, how do you suss this one out?
Journalism. How can I not like journalism, Anthony? It's the same thing I told Pat. I mean, seriously. Look, the trainer's a longtime friend of mine, Michael McCarthy. When Coast, I would actually watch the Super Bowl in Southern California. I was at Santa Anita that day, and I spent time with Michael McCarthy on Super Bowl Sunday, and he had touted me on journalism before he'd even run a race this year. His two races are sensational. I don't think he's just going to win. I might as well just go out on a limb here. I think he's going to win big. I think he's going to win by 4 or 5 lengths. And I think he's got a real chance to win them all.
Wow. Now, how do you play it? How do you play the whole day? Like, is it, you always talk about, taking all the money. Is there a chance that you'll take all the money again?
I will be attempting to do that. Yes, I will have a couple opinions early in the day. If they hit, Anthony, that will just give me a larger bankroll to fire away at journalism. If it's an 8-9 exacta, that's journalism's 8-9 is Burnham Square, you will not be able to get a hold of me for a while because I will be in an area code where I will be unreachable, but there will be water and sun involved.
So 8-9 is the exacta. Do you have a try?
Yeah, I'll give you the 3 as a total long shot. Probably going to be 40 or 50 to 1 if you're looking for a bomb in there. And the 18 Sovereignty's logical, but that's he's probably going to be the second or third choice. You're not making any money there. But the 8-9 probably going to pay, I would think, anywhere between $80 and $100 for 2, and I will not have it for 2.
Now, Dick Baffert's back for the first time in 3 years. He has 2 horses. What kind of horses does he have?
Yeah, I don't like his horses, Pat. I think he was checkmated by the post draw. Both of them have similar running styles. They're both fast. They need the lead to win. And I don't see either one of them getting a clear lead. We're talking Citizen Bull, who was last year's 2-year-old champ. He drew the rail, so they don't really have any option but to go with him. And Rodriguez, who won the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct, has exactly the same running style. So that would be my concern, is that you have 2 horses with the same running style. I don't know how he's going to figure that out. And he's doing things kind of uncharacteristic. I think he really desperately wants to win after being out of here for 3 years. But I've watched him long enough to know this is not typically how he prepares his winning Derby horses. So I'm tossing Baffert at my own peril. I'm throwing him out.
Oh, look at that. I like it.
Hey, how about Jason Worth's Flying Mohawk? Any shot?
I don't think he has much of a shot, but he did run second in my long shot. Final Gambit to 3 ran second in the race at Turfway Park. Anthony, if you've ever flown to the Cincinnati airport, you see Turfway Park from the air. It's right there in northern Kentucky. Yep. People know about Cincinnati Airport. It's actually in Kentucky. Yep. Turfway Park has one of these artificial surfaces, the Tapeta surface, which was actually invented and trademarked by the former trainer, Michael Dickinson, who made me a ton of money. Pat, you'll remember this. Remember DeHaas in the 98 Breeders' Cup that I touted as one of the great picks ever? That was the one where they kept having to send out for money at the Churchill Downs press box because I cleaned them out 3 times that day. He invented the surface, and they use it at Turfway Park.
Oh my God, that's awesome! Now, what's your schedule for the race?
I'm just home, man. I've only been once since the last year I went for the paper, which was 2017. I went back in 2022 as kind of a nostalgia tour, which was fine. But yeah, I'll be watching it like everybody else. Fine with me. They allow betting from wherever you are.
Yeah, I want to, but I figured this would be a good you and Patino moment after the run he had.
Well, here you'll love this. So there's a number of prop bets out there in the Derby. There always are. One of them is who will be seen first, Patino or Andy Beshear, who's the governor of Kentucky. It's the easiest bet you'll find. The answer is Andy Beshear because Patino is not going to be there. So I got a little inside info.
Look at that. Load up.
And Andy Beshear will obviously be presenting the trophy in the winner's circle. So, yeah, that's an easy prop bet to win. But yeah, Rick has not been happy since he got fired by Louisville. He has not been back.
So he's out of the whole state. Oh, okay,
correct.
Yeah,
he has not been happy with the state of Kentucky since then. He's still involved in horses a little bit, but yeah, he just does not appear anymore. He used to have a box right on the
I remember you telling me about that. You guys used to be with him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice box. I want to say it cost him like $150 a year, maybe. And he says, I can't believe I'm paying $150 a year for something I used twice. I said, well, how much are you making? And I said, enough said, get out of here.
Oh, boys, I could do it all day long. You guys are the greatest. You guys are the best.
Hey, Dick, do you have a quick pick for Kentucky Oaks on Friday?
You know, I actually like the 14. I'm going to have to pull up my thing here. I don't usually like those super high numbers. Hang on one second. Find out what this horse's name is. I have way too much paper here. I'm going to try to beat the favorite here, but yeah, I like the 14. Whatever filly that is.
Okay.
Just your name is not coming to me at the moment.
Well, my boys, I got to tell you, this was a blast. Thank you so much. We got to do this more. I just love it. And good luck. I know, Dick, I'm rooting journalism. We're all rooting journalism. And hopefully then I'll hear from you in a couple months when you come back from that place in the water.
Yeah, that would be nice. 8 and 9 for all the paper tomorrow, boys.
All right. And dinner's on you, buddy. All right.
More than dinner, whatever you want, pal.
How about it, Pat? Like, Dick's the kind of guy, the minute you meet him, you just fall in love with him, man. He's one of the best, man. The first time I covered an event with him, we were doing the basketball way back in the day, and I just loved him, man. Just fell in love with the guy.
He invented the word unflappable. I mean, if you were somewhere and a bomb went off behind us, me and you would freak out and whatever, and Dick would kind of casually turn around like that to see what was going on.
Cool as can be, man. Cool as can be. All right, my boys. Have a great day. You guys are the greatest. Legends. Thank you.
Enjoyed it. Thank you, Anthony. See you guys.
There they are. The legends.
Total legends.
Right? Like, great. Just great. Just all the stories. Like, imagine going and knocking on the Ali's door.
No. Having breakfast with Ali.
I am enamored with that part of time, particularly in Philadelphia. I pray to God. I have a project that's out, and it's about Philadelphia. And it's my passion. I really want to do this project. And it's being looked at least I'm told it's being looked at. And there might be a meeting today. I'm not sure.
Nice.
But I don't know. But, I want to write this thing. There's so much to write about our town and the history of our city. I just love it. I absolutely love it. All right. We got a great baseball, another great. I think Thursday should be for the ink-stained wretches. I think we go back in the day on Thursdays.
Ink-stained Thursdays?
Throwback Thursdays with all the great writers, all right? But before we do that, let's talk about some of our friends. How about a little Empire?
Today, every good room starts with a good floor. And just like your favorite home team needs a home court field ice advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage. And Empire Today can help you get it because Empire Today's got flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every day. It's all they do. So it's not like going to the big box stores where if you can find someone and you ask them a question, the Empire Today people actually know what they're talking about, man. This is all they do. They live and breathe flooring, and they're with you every step of the way, making it a whole new ball game, stress-free. Their flooring experts bring out their computer. They take a couple pictures of you with their digital virtual showroom and You can see what the floors look like in whatever room you're putting into to make sure the colors match, and you just like the way everything comes together. And with Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. Plus, if they got your flooring in stock, you can even schedule installation as soon as the next day. So schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners can receive $350 discount when using the promo code PHLY. $350 off with the promo code PHLY. Restrictions do apply. So visit Empire Today/PHLY for full details on how to save some money and get some good floors.
All right. Now let's talk about PARX Casino, Street Road Bend, Salem. I know they're going to be popping Derby and the whole thing up there. PARX Casino, they have it all. Action, excitement, headline entertainment. And they have Bill Murray.
Bill Murray?
Yes.
What?
Bill Murray.
What?
That Bill Murray.
Wow. Go PARX.
One show only.
Wow.
Saturday, November 15th, 8 p.m. at PARX Casino.
Whoa. We know somebody? Get some tickets to that one?
Yeah, taking
That's
a
awesome.
break from movies. Bill Murray's headed to an entirely different stage as he joined forces with the Blood Brothers, Mike Zito and Albert Castiglia, for a thrilling night of blues rock and roll.
Wow.
He's singing?
Look at that.
Wow.
Bill Murray, the Emmy Award-winning actor who has starred in a multitude of beloved movies, including Groundhog Day, Little Shop of Horrors, Ghostbusters, formed by Mike Zito and Albert Castiglia, Blood Brothers is a culmination of over 45 years of experience from the duo, and together they have won awards for the Blues Rock Album of the Year for their debut record. One show only, Saturday, November 15th, 8 o'clock.
Nice.
That's cool,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That's very cool. PARX Casino, this is how you win. Also, tickets on sale now, June 6th, Taj Mahal, Keb Mo.
Woke up this morning, mama, I got those Statesboro blues.
July 3rd, Gary Clark Jr.
Here come old Flap Top, he come moving up slowly.
There you go, buddy. That's your normal. July 18th, KC the Sunshine Band.
That's the way.
I like it.
September 6th, Reggae, the English reggae pop band UB40.
Red wine.
Comedian Brian Regan, November 22nd. Comedian Russell Peters, September 27th. PARXCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. PARX Casino, this is how you win. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And also, we got the PHLY golf outing for all the diehards. Second annual golf outing at Valley Brook, Saturday, June 14th.
Nice.
Diehard community, come out and golf with us. Sign up includes 8 holes of golf with a cart. You get some PHLY golf tournament gifts and tea prizes.
Wait, dude, you got to represent the show.
Taste of Philly dinner and post-round ceremony. You get unlimited draft beer for 2 hours. It's my birthday.
I was there last year.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
You got to golf. You're a good golfer.
I'm not a good golfer, but I'm a golfer.
Well, you're a golfer.
Yeah, I golf.
I was there last year. So much fun. Tons of fun.
That's fantastic.
Goodies, drinks. The food afterwards was awesome. You really should go.
Yeah, it goes
Tons
2
of
to
fun.
7, Saturday,
Where-
June 14th.
Where do people find it?
All PHLY.com.
Thank you.
Just go there.
ALLPHLY.com.
Yeah.
Because some people, with all PHLY, I got to say PHLY.
Yeah, I did correct myself, didn't
Not
I?
you. I'm just
Oh,
talking
did I?
about. No.
I
It said
call
nothing to do with you.
myself.
Nothing to do with you.
It's everything to do with
I
me.
meet people all the time, and they don't. I'm like, not just PHLY, all PHLY, like ALLCITY, all PHLY, not
Yes.
Philly, but PHLY.
And then go under events, you'll find it.
All right. Now, you know what? Do we have capabilities for 4, like a box of 4?
It's too much. Yeah,
It's too much?
You guys would be really, squished.
Because I wanted Jim Salisbury in that group,
Yeah,
right?
I would love to do that, but it would just look too squished.
Okay. We're going to figure out a way. We'll have stakes on with Pat another time
Yeah.
because that's always great right there. Let's welcome another great writer, newspaper man, journalism finest, Stakes, Jimmy Stakes.
Jimmy Stakes.
What do you say there, Jimmy Stakes?
Hola, amigos.
Oh man, what's he thinks he at Dodger Stadium?
He looks cool. He's got the Dodger. He's got the Dodger
blue.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Dodgers.
Wait, the message Stakes goes, what are we talking about? I said him, Phillies, baseball. He went, okay.
And food. Well, sometimes you're known to go off the rails.
Yes, that's true.
I've had other colleagues like that. I won't mention any names, so you just like to be prepared.
Yeah, but I don't take you off the rails of sports.
No.
I mean, I usually keep you involved in the game, Some people.
So what's going on?
Some of our colleagues will take us into weird places.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Marks.
Screws up my whole algorithm just visiting him. Jesus.
Steaks, let's discuss. Pat brought this up earlier. The age of this team and what's behind it. Like, is there enough coming to keep this thing going?
Well, their farm system is not teeming, but there are some attractive guys at the top. But until they're here doing it, you don't know. There are a few good-looking young players down lower. But until they're here and go through the minor league development, you don't know. But that's the goal of any franchise, almost like definitely in baseball, almost in any sport, is as your stars get older and more expensive, they move on and they are replaced with younger, talented players who are at a lower spot on the payroll curve. It helps you sustain. But their core is older. They're north of 30 all over the place. I mean, Wheeler's 35, Nola's north of 30. The catcher, the first baseman, the shortstop, right fielder, DH, all north of 30, all approaching the end of their contracts, except for the shortstop and the first baseman. They have a shortstop in Aiden Miller, shortstop third baseman in Aiden Miller, who's coming, could be here in a year. They have a center fielder, left fielder, and Crawford could be here in a year. Those are the type of sustainable moves you need to make. Obviously, Painter's going to be here in July. So there are pieces coming, but if they're going to win this year, and they're in that win now mode, we know that. If they're going to win this year, they need to win with the guys that are here. They need to win with their stars being stars.
That. Yeah, I get that. I was just curious because Pat,
who's coming behind them. They got Painter. They got Miller. They got Crawford.
Yeah, but
down lower they got a kid named Nori.
Do they have a true legitimate? Is Miller star potential?
Potentially, sure. If he gets, it depends how he plays. He's a really good-looking prospect.
I'm asking you, do they have that it factor? Like, do you sense that?
I think Painter's got star potential.
Yeah, I do.
I think the other two guys, as I look at them right now, could be very productive big leaguers.
Right.
Miller is a good hitter. He's got good tools, but until you're here, doing it, you don't know, Anthony.
Come on, Mr. GM.
Anthony, you don't know.
You're talking like Lee Thomas.
Well, that's a compliment. He's a great guy.
I know. I'm just saying. You're giving me GM speak. I get that. Like, we know.
I'm not doing the crystal ball thing. I don't know if they're going to be stars.
But you're not just flipping a coin. You have a trusted eye. You talk to people.
I think they're going to be productive big leaguers, and then it's up to them and how they play and how good they are. But there's going to be opportunities here in Philadelphia for them to be really good players. We'll see if they do it. But I certainly. I like all the ingredients, and we'll see what happens.
Aiden Miller currently batting .203 in 19 games this year.
So what? He was in high school. He was in high school 2 years ago. He was in high school 2 years ago. He's a Florida kid playing in Reading, and the sun just came up in Pennsylvania. Come on, give me a break.
None of you guys are giving any love to my Otto Kemp. He's the next star. He's coming up. He's going to be like the next Reese Hoskins up here.
Well, you never know. I'll tell you what. He's got a pretty good stick. But the pitching is a lot different from the AAA level to the major league level, but you can only, shine where you are, and he is shining. And he's a guy, I've had my eye on for a while, because you wonder if a little platoon might look pretty good in left field. And
Mhm.
right now they're giving Weston Wilson that look as a right-handed bat, and to pair with Kepler. And if that doesn't work, maybe Otto Kemp gets a look in that role. He's certainly swinging it very good, as you mentioned. The problem there is, he doesn't really have a position where he shines at. He's not a top defender. But the old saying, if you hit, they'll find a place for you. Right now he's sitting in AAA, and if he keeps doing it, he'll earn himself a look here at some point.
What's his backstory? Because did you know that he would have this kind of power?
He's just a good, his backstory is kind of a baseball rat. Always been a pretty good stick. He's a little bit of an older guy.
Yeah.
I think he's 25, which is, not old in the real world, but
it's old
in baseball
prospect-wise.
where everybody's judged on. And he was a Division II kid, I think undrafted, had some injury problems, and just kind of a guy that's just kept, pushing and plodding along. He really impresses people with his work ethic, with his baseball know-how, and with his ability to barrel up baseball. So, like I said, he's doing a good job, and I got to think with the way he is producing, he will earn a look in some way, shape, or form. The potential hindrance is the lack of a bona fide defensive position.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you know anything about the Flyers made a trade this morning? They got right-handed reliever Daniel Robert for Enrique Segura. He was with the Rangers.
Yeah.
If you look and read about him, he sounds like a capable arm. I mean, he played a few games last year, was decent, and he's been killing AAA this year.
And he's got, they can send him to AAA. He's got options, and that's really something. I mean, they are on the lookout for relief help, big time. And they're it's almost like, you throw some stuff at the wall and you see what sticks. I mean, the guy he's legitimately pitched in the big leagues before. He was DFA'd in Texas. So you send him to AAA, and, he becomes part of the mix, almost like you're doing with that kid, Seth Johnson, former starter. They've sent him to the bullpen. He's made 4 appearances, hasn't given up a run. He just continues to walk guys, and that's he's got to reel in that control. But they are just looking for options in that bullpen because they know they're going to need to address it. These are ways of addressing it now to see if guys can be viable contributors, here and get them in your system now. I still think they're going to be, I'm sure they're looking outside the system. I know they are. And I expect them to address that as the trade deadline gets closer and closer, but they know the bullpen's going to be an issue, and they want as much, many arms as they can to make a decision on. So, you put him in the mix. If he performs, like I said, if you hit, they'll find a place for you. You get outs, they'll find a place for you. So the current makeup of their bullpen, of their 8-man bullpen, you only have 2 guys who have options, 2 guys that can go up and down without risking losing them. And that's, Kirkering and Banks, lefty. So the fact that this guy's got options and can go up and down, if they need, somebody to come up for a couple of weeks, they can send him back down. You don't lose that depth. So that makes him attractive. The thing that you scratch your head about, he's DFA'd in Texas. So, but he's got big league time. He's got talent. Relievers are mercurial, volatile. They're up one day, they're down the next. Maybe different coaching and a different voice appeals to him, and maybe they get something. So you got to. These are the shots you take.
He's 6'4",
Yeah.
95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah.
They're saying in 11 and 2 1/2 innings this year, he's got 34% strikeout rate, 8% walk rate.
Yeah.
Well, take a look at him in Lehigh and see what he does, and maybe we'll see him up here.
What do you do with Kirkering?
Kirkering, you just keep, I think, throwing him out there. The talent's good. It's just, he's, the strikeout rate is down, the walk rate is up, he's giving up more hits. But it's a small sample size, so you keep throwing him out there and seeing what happens. But he has not had a good start to this season.
Does he feel?
It seems like guys are getting a much better look at things from him. But
he looks a little. I don't want to say nervous, but he looks a little tentative sometimes.
A little timid to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's nibbling a little bit.
And that's when you get hurt, right?
Exactly. And that's when you don't trust it. When you nibble is when you don't trust it. You see that kind of sometimes with Nola.
Right.
You feel like you got to be fine off the plate because you don't want to get squared up. So that's probably the thing that's going on there. But I just think the talent is good enough that you got to keep running him out there and showing trust in him, and maybe he'll get some success, build some confidence, because confidence is so huge. That's what prevents you from nibbling. Now you're attacking hitters, and you're dictating from the pitcher's mound, not letting that guy dictate from the batter's box.
It feels like he needs a third pitch, like a little something to I don't know, just to confuse the hitters a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he's got that. His sinker is not as effective, it looks like to me, and he's got that sweeper, slider, whatever you want to call it, that was always his bread and butter. That just hasn't been as sharp as in the past. So, you just got to keep riding him and see what happens. I do think he has the ability to turn. He was kind of one of my picks to have a really strong year. He get some experience under his belt. He's got some talent, and I'm still on that horse.
Yeah. What will you do for the Derby?
That's something I like. I always liked the Derby, going back to when I was a kid. So I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to the Derby
I never
someday.
covered it.
No, I never covered. I'd like to go to it someday just to see the spectacle. Maybe someday I'll get there.
Gallo never sent you?
No, but he liked him. He
was
he
a
liked
big
the
horse guy. When Jimmy and I worked in New York at the Post together, and oh my God, with the horse racing, they loved it. That's all, and I knew nothing about it, right? And they're like, "What horses do you like?" I'm like, "I don't know any. You don't know the horses? How? Well, you don't have horses in Philadelphia?"
Horses.
Oh my God, they used to go nuts. Go there, find the horse. Let it talk to you. Talk to you. Oh, there's stuff he would say. It was crazy. Jim will tell you, it was insane.
It was really cool around here when we had, it was like 20 years ago when Barbaro and Fleet Alex and was there one other? Smarty Jones.
Yeah.
I remember actually the Smarty Jones year being in the press box at Turner Field, and the Derby was on. It was covering a Phillies game, or getting ready to cover a Phillies game. I think it was a night game. And that whole event was going on.
How do you size up the NL East right now?
We were all worried about the Braves, weren't we? And now they're 2 games under 500, and they got the whip out there. They're coming. That horse is dangerous still. So I think it's a 3-team division. I think you got to beat up on the Marlins, take care of the Marlins. I think you got to take care of the Nationals, though they got some good young players and they're getting better. But the Phillies have an opportunity tonight to take care of the Nationals and get a series sweep there. I think that's vital. I think it's a 3-team race. The Mets have just had some bullpen issues with some injuries. That's significant in my mind. I still like the Phillies personnel. They've won 4 in a row. They're 3 or 4 games over 500 now. This thing is so far away from being decided, right? This thing is just getting started here. This division.
How would you rank them right now?
Acuna's not back yet.
Yeah.
Strider went down again. At some point, those guys are going to get healthy and be difference makers. The Braves, Olson's gotten it going. Riley's gotten it going. But eventually, Harper's going to get it going here. And he was a player of the month last year. People forget this. He was player of the month in May and June, back-to-back months. And that's when that team, the Phillies, really kind of took off. Harper's going to get going. Bohm's going to get going. And this thing's going to be a very entertaining race, in my opinion. And the way things are out in the West, you got good teams out there. The run for the wild card positions in this National League could be very, very interesting. I'm still going to stick with what I said. I like the Phillies to win the division. I like them to win 92 games and win the division. So we'll see. That might be, the division winner. Who knows what it's going to get? But I think 92, get in and get hot. And I still think they can win this division. They're going to need to address that bullpen, and they're going to need their big boys to be big boys. They're going to need their stars to play like stars, and they're going to need Trey Turner to catch the ball in the middle of the diamond, because that is a situation.
That's a situation.
My God, is it not?
That's a situation.
We're in overtime.
And then in the offseason, they're going to need to talk about what they're going to do there because that is a situation.
That's a problem, man. That's a major freaking problem. Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's too important.
He kills
Too
me.
important of a position not to be money on every ground ball.
Exactly. It's overtime, OT. He kills me. Me. He of that whole team, I keep waiting for him to carry them. I keep waiting for a moment where he gets hot and he's blistering and he's stealing bases and popping the ball. And he hasn't.
Anthony, I still think he will. I really still think he will. You're right. When he gets going, he's dynamic offensively. It's it's power, it's average, it's speed,
and then he's great in the field. He takes his bat into the field all the time.
I see signs of that as well. That's why I wonder, going to center field, going to left field, eventually doesn't take some burden off him.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
He's going to have to come off that position. He's got, 8 more years here?
Yeah. He's got to go to center.
I think he can run down anything in center. I think he could go to left. I think maybe the determining factor is where do you put Crawford? Some people think Crawford is more of a left fielder than a center fielder. We will see. Maybe you put him back at second base. I don't know. How good is Miller? Can Miller step in at shortstop? Can Stott go back to shortstop? Can Miller go to third? There's so many different variables here, but I think the constant is the defense at shortstop has to be money. It has to be locked down at that position. And it hasn't been. I mean, he made 40 errors his first 2 years. Here's Philly, and he's got 4 this year. And I actually think he's been better this year.
He has.
He works real hard, but I think coming off that position might be the best move for the team and him. And I just don't know if they can take that. I don't know if they can take that head on during the season, but you never know. But I do think it's going to happen at some point here.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Jimmy, while you're here, I got a little Dodgers nugget for you. So the Dodgers, what they're doing this year is they're doing specialty hot dogs for the visitors. So Pittsburgh came to town. They had the Pittsburgh dog was kibasi with sauerkraut, hash browns, white cheddar, and spicy mayo. What do you think about that, Jim?
Wow. That looks good.
Yeah, you in on that?
I'm in on any hot dog. But I do love the traditional Dodger dog in the press box at Dodger Stadium.
It's a great dog.
They put them out in about the 5th inning. They're footlongs from Farmer John. And I even know the guy who makes them, Farmer John. And steamed bun. And I'm going some of that melted cheese. I'm going heavy on the onions, heavy on the like the chili sauce, and then I'm hitting it with onions, chili, and some mustard as well. And I could eat
mustard, cheese,
see, this is what
chili,
I
onions.
I could eat those all day. They're so
go
good
together. It's one or the other.
And chili.
You're right. But the
chili
and
cheese
if
dog you could
chili
do.
cheese goes together.
But not chili and mustard.
Cheese.
You gotta have that finishing. It's like the finish on a good fastball comes off your fingertips. That mustard is coming off your fingertips.
I don't know.
Now where I grew up,
having specialty dogs for business.
Where I grew up in Rhode Island, we put celery salt on our hot dogs, and that you talk about a finishing touch. Yeah, oh my God!
Now I'm interested. That piques my interest.
What do you put?
Celery salt.
Celery salt.
Oh, celery salt.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I can
try that. Yeah,
just a dash. Just a little dash.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. All right. How about is this cool? This was seen last night at Citizens Bank Park. A woman putting chocolate fudge sauce syrup on her hot dogs.
I would not touch that.
Jimmy's not touching
chocolate hot dog.
Chocolate syrup on your hot dog.
I think that's gross.
That's gross.
Super gross.
Yeah, that's nasty.
You should have smacked the hot dogs.
Yeah, I don't get even the other dog, the cheese and the mayo. That's the same. Like it's got to be one or the other.
But the spicy mayo.
No, but the mayo and the cheese, make it spicy cheese. Like, what are you doing? Why do you need the mayo and the cheese?
I'm a fan of mayo and cheese together.
No, they don't go.
Absolutely. Come on, mayo and cheese don't go.
He's right about the dog, Dodger dog, best dog around.
I do like the fact that they're doing a special dog for every visiting team.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they do for the Philly dog? What's that going to be like?
Cheesesteak dog.
Cream cheese.
I don't.
Philly cream cheese. with
No,
mayo.
man. Let's stop with the Philly cream cheese.
You stop with it. Like I've been saying
Pretzel
it every day.
dog.
It's the
You
first
do a
time I
pretzel
mentioned
bun.
it.
Pretzel bun, whiz.
That would be good.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
we ought to
Cooper
reach out to
Sharp.
them.
Though mayonnaise is my favorite vegetable, I don't eat it on hot dogs.
No. I'm grossed out by it, but it definitely doesn't belong.
Are you
on
a
hot dog.
Duke's guy? What's your mayo?
I've used Dukes. Whatever's decent. Up in New England, we used to have. It was called Cane's. I don't think they sell it down here. Really good though.
Cane's.
Cane's mayo.
I don't do the mayo. I skeeve it. Skeeve it. It just looks like white glob to me.
Oh, I love mayo.
Do you?
I know this is going to grow, but I like mayo on a cheesesteak.
I've done it, and it's
I've done
not
Oh,
terrible.
Dude, it's horrible.
I've done it.
On the roll.
Horrible.
If I do a cheesesteak hoagie with some mayo, I can live
First
with
of all,
that.
what cheesesteak hoagie? Lettuce doesn't belong on a freaking
Oh, it's
cheesesteak.
delicious.
Oh,
Nah,
stop! You're
delicious.
such a
It's
violator.
delicious. You
It's
got that
terrible.
cool crispness
No,
on
That's
it.
not a real item. That's not a real item.
Horrible cheesesteak hoagie.
Some fried onions
Yeah,
and mayo. Jimmy knows.
I actually don't mind a cheesesteak with little mayo, lettuce, and tomato, pickles.
Exactly.
Oh,
A cheesesteak
yeah.
hoagie.
Onions.
Jimmy, you're a good food man, Jimmy.
Oh,
Good
boy,
food man.
that's crap. If you did
It
that
makes
to
it like
my,
a
I
chopped
would
up
serve
burger.
it. I would serve it to you.
Yeah, you're missing out. You wouldn't make a lot of money. You'd make more money catering us.
You're not
Us-
allowed to have a pickles
we got
with a
elite
cheesesteak?
palates over here, Jimmy Steaks and I.
Pickles and mayo with a freaking cheesesteak?
Delicious. With lettuce, tomato, fried onions.
Terrible. Terrible. You think Skinny Joey's going to give you that?
Oh, I got to get over there. I want to go over there.
You want, I'll get you one. Whatever you want. It's good steak.
Have you been over there?
He brought them in. Good steaks.
Oh,
Now we're going off
I got to
the rail.
try those.
They were great steak. I have to tell you, great steak.
The chicken cheesesteak was fantastic.
Yeah.
I definitely got to get over there.
K Red saying cream cheese on a sandwich is underrated. They're going off the rails now. Cream cheese on a sandwich?
What kind of sandwich? Turkey?
Like a bagel? Just bagel? Yeah, I'm in.
Bagel.
Yeah,
I like cream cheese and peanut butter together on a bagel.
Interesting.
Never
Man.
done that, but
You're
that
like a
sounds
garbage
pretty
disposal.
good.
with a glass of cold milk.
Oh, my God.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
You guys are horrible.
Yeah, I'll give that
No,
a
it's
shot too,
very
man.
good.
Celery, salt, and
Don't overdo the celery salt. It's a compliment.
EB and cream cheese.
That's the New England thing.
So nice hot dog. Do some cheese, maybe some Cooper Sharp or American cheese on your hot dog. Break it in half, lay it in there. Then do mustard, ketchup, pickle, and onion, and then just a dash of celery salt. You're talking. That's a nice. You're gonna love that.
I'm
busy.
trying to. I might try
You
today.
take away from the dog. If you get a good dog, just accent it.
We got.
Why do we got to oversauce it as Americans?
Let me get it straight,
We
Jimmy.
oversauce everything.
We got-
Overdo it.
I'm gonna try it today. Mustard, ketchup, onions, a little bit of cheese, American cheese.
Oh, American cheese.
Yeah,
is
you take a
horrible.
slice of American
You
cheese,
should
break it
never
in
even
half, and then
make
lay it in the
American
bun.
cheese.
American cheese melts.
You do
well.
that first, so maybe you get that in there quick, so it melts a little
Yes.
bit. Then you go ketchup and mustard and finely diced onions and maybe some diced pickles or lay some pickles in there.
Okay.
And then a dash, just like
Just
one
a
of
dash
these.
of
watch.
celery salt. No relish, just chopped
Just
pickles.
one of these, like shoo, right over across the top.
All right, a chef's kiss.
There you go. Celery salt.
Yes.
You done?
I guess I could talk food with Jimmy all day. I love it.
The one thing I'll give Jimmy and I'll give New England is the sausage sandwich. The sausage sandwich is a great sausage
good
and
up there?
peppers. The best.
What about the lobster roll?
I hate the lobster roll.
Oh, I love our lobster roll.
Like, it's horrible. Horrible. Crab greater than lobster.
Have you? I mean, that guy Rocco's down at Home Depot's got a pretty good sausage sandwich.
It's good. No,
Yeah,
it's good.
you can get a good sausage down here.
Yeah, without a doubt. Definitely.
I can make one on my grill for you.
How do you do your onions and peppers?
Oh boy.
Sometimes if I'm on the grill, I'll julienne them up, and I'll put them in a tinfoil pouch with maybe a little olive oil and a little seasoning, and put those on the corner of the grill while I'm getting those sausages nice and singy.
Yeah, that's good. Now
And then I hit that with mustard too. That's getting mustard.
No mustard? Not with the Stop with the mustard.
Oh, a little mustard and sauerkraut on some sausage. Ooh.
No sauerkraut, mustard. Yellow mustard.
You're such a horrible
What are
eater.
you talking about?
Not sauerkraut on that.
Yeah, with some hot mustard.
What do you do with the? You get the hot pepper, or you?
No, I go like a little red, a little green, and some onion.
Oh no, well that's
some white
the benign
onions.
pepper. There's no heat.
You want hot peppers. I'm going to be
there.
putting mine in this weekend in the garden, man. I grow great hot peppers.
Well, send me some.
I grow cayenne, I grow poblanos, and I grow jalapenos.
How about the serrano?
I've done them in the past.
That's a good pepper. The serrano's a tasty pepper.
Yeah, I've done those. I've done those shishito, I think they're called.
Sure.
I've done the Hungarian wax.
Yeah.
But my go-tos are the cayenne, the jalapeno, and I love poblanos.
Yeah. Oh, really? But they're not heat. There's no heat to the poblano.
There's a little bit, and you can actually get some that actually will get hot. I've had them that'll surprise you. But,
okay.
They're just really good peppers.
All right. It's a good pepper.
Maybe Pepper Jimmy.
I'm telling you, he's the green roaster.
Now, you know what
Joe
Carcione.
Joe Carcione right here.
You know what you call a poblano when it's dried?
What's that?
An ancho.
Oh, really?
Oh, look at that.
Nice. That's good pepper knowledge by you. Yeah. The ancho.
Yeah, Jimmy Peppers.
I like it. Now I need a margarita because we're talking about
Spicy
peppers.
margarita?
Yes, exactly. In fact, my man Oscar at Tequilas, which is open, he does a spicy cocktail where he does the hot pepper into the cocktail. It's a freaking great drink.
I was there with them 2 weeks ago. They make
that place is opened again, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic
Did you
cocktails.
tell him who you were?
Yeah. I texted him. He helped me get a reservation.
So-
I was booked up.
Nice.
I'll tell you a tequila story. Way back when I was in the clubhouse at Fenway Park talking to Kevin Euclid, and I told him I was from Philly, and we're talking after the interview and all. He goes, "My favorite restaurant's in Philly, called Tequilas." He'd love that place.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Uke love tequilas. Wow. I love tequila.
This is
It's a
going back
great
like
spot.
20 years ago. It's like 20 years ago.
I mean, we should do all kinds of family functions at Tequilas.
Really?
I love it. Absolutely love it. Great spot.
Well, don't forget to invite your old pal here.
You got it, buddy. We'll do, you know what? We'll do a May Day. In fact, that should be our next PHLY outing. Should be a little tequilas during the day.
I like it.
All right? We'll eat, we'll feast. Jimmy, we love you, Steaks.
We didn't even talk baseball. We talked hot dogs.
I know. My man over here.
Sorry, man. He's a connoisseur of food. I wanted to see what he thought.
I mean, our baseball talk really lacked this time.
Well, we're in a good spot, right? We know what we got going on. We need a bullpen arm, which we got today. And we need a right-handed bat. Otto Kemp's coming. We're all good.
I mean, I think he's going to get a shot at some point if he keeps this up. And
he's the next Rooker. He's going to be our Brent Rooker.
Okay.
Rooker.
Yeah. Is that the guy on the A's who bashes home runs?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That's why I said Rooker.
Yeah. That's what he is. Otto Kemp.
All
Here
right.
he comes.
That'd be pretty.
They're going to
great.
get a big acquisition here real soon. Name is Bryce Harper is going to show
Yes.
up.
Yes.
It'd be Bryce Harper. You watch.
I agree.
He hasn't been
he'll
braced
get hot.
since July.
He's going to go off.
I
You
agree.
watch.
Did you see their schedule? So
They got a tough little series with Arizona coming up. Arizona can hit, man.
Yeah. All right, they can. You're right. But look, it's funny. They have a good May, but then the real tester comes beginning June 20th.
What do they got?
You got Mets home, at Houston, at Atlanta, home Padres, home Reds, at San Francisco, at San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bank some wins now, so you go through that stretch at like game or two over 500, be in fine shape.
Yes, I agree. I'm with you. All right, my brother. Have a great day, buddy. We love you. Thank you, Steaks.
See ya.
There he is, Jimmy Steaks. Always fun to hang with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how about a little back in the day?
Okay, let's go back in the day.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with Rite Aid. Yeah!
It's May 1st.
You like that cheesesteak hoagie?
I'm going back to May 1st, 1994.
Horrendous.
Look,
Throwing all that stuff on the cheesesteak.
it's delicious.
Pickles, mustard, mayo.
May 1st, 1994. I'll give you a little Harry just to
Oh,
celebrate the
love
first
it.
day of May.
See the vet green.
Well hit to deep right field. Can he do it again? Yes. Out of here. Home run, the dude, and the Phillies lead it.
The
1-0
dude.
here in the
That's the
third.
greatest.
That's
Look
the
at that
only
turf.
pitch that he threw on the inside part of the plate to Dykstra. All the rest were outside. He got one in there, and Lenny didn't miss it.
Home run, the dude.
Hey, can I just do an update? We played some of the Belichick interview, and we argued over his sweatshirt and stuff. Remember that?
Yeah.
There's an update on this relationship that they have going on.
What do you mean?
Since Jordan, his girlfriend, has started dating Bill Belichick, she's acquired $8 million of houses and duplexes, and the mortgages have all been paid off. She owes nothing on these houses. There it is. It was on the New York Post today. I think I
Oh
saw
my
it.
God.
$8 million real estate portfolio, duplexes, all things she's earning money off of. All since she's met him, they're all paid off. Just weird. Super weird, right?
Oh my God.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Oh man.
I think we all know what's going on.
I don't know.
I think
$8
that's,
million.
hard to read.
Yeah, dude. It's like 4 or 5 homes. Very nice homes.
Money, 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 money.
It's weird.
Money.
What if you're his family?
I think his daughter-in-law, someone has come out and said something. I saw him.
Like if you're his family, you gotta go, yo,
right,
yo, my man.
Something's up.
Like here's the thing. You go and treat you're dating,
Yeah.
right? He's dating. Go treat her like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Fly her around the world,
Yeah.
do the whole thing. But you're giving her $8 million? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Or whatever. Right. That's all you know about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also, Rich, she may have started like 15 LLCs or opened up these businesses now. Also,
What?
she started dating them. Yeah. You got to dig into that article.
That's kind of messed up, man.
Wow.
That's kind of, that's,
Shady stuff.
yeah. Well,
I don't know. It's shady, but just weird.
yeah. It's digging. It's gold digging.
Oh, yeah.
I'm digging for gold. Oh,
Yeah.
man. That's messed up.
Yeah. All right.
Well, he may step down from North Carolina.
She's
Did you
like-
see that?
Yeah, she's running the show. Like she's copied on all his emails and stuff.
Like, people in North Carolina are like, nah.
Right.
Like, that university is going to be like, no, Bill. Like, no.
Yeah, dude. It's
He actually came out and they made statements because of that CBS Sunday Morning debacle.
right. Like what's he even doing that for? He wrote a book. Does he need to write a book? You just end a career. You retire and just go travel the world with her. Have fun.
Right.
What's he got to? Everything he's doing now. is-
Well, that's because of her. He probably would have just do nothing. But she's probably like, no. We need to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's her. That's
Like him doing. Whose idea for him to do a book tour and interviews? He's the worst interviewer.
You know,
Yeah.
bizarre. All right, that's going to do it for us, everybody. Great job, Andrew.
Nice work, Andrew.
Andrew got that video right away. Nice job. Everybody, thanks for hanging. Tomorrow's Friday. We should have some cocktails on the show tomorrow.
All right, I'm in.
Look at this, the bro.
Come
Bro's
right
got his
right off the
thong.
beach.
The
Bro
bro.
always has his tongue.
So the other thing with her, I was just watching the show.
He knows all about
Oh, he
this.
knows, yeah.
So she is the official COO of Belichick Productions now. And she is the reason that UNC is no longer doing Hard Knocks.
I saw that.
And it cost the school $250K to like break the contract.
Oh wow.
So like these are like big money.
Why? Well, why the school not doing it?
Because she nixed it.
Oh, she nixed it.
She nixed it. That the
I
Athletic.
thought Bill wanted to do it.
I think he did originally, but this morning the Athletic has a piece out that says she nixed it.
Wow.
She's the reason.
She's in full
Did
control.
you see the video of her at practice?
No,
Dude.
no.
She's wearing a duster jacket, a baby blue Carolina blue duster jacket, full cowboy boots like up to her heels, and she's walking the field, like talking to him and talking to coaches in the end zone. It is bonkers.
What?
Yeah, my man is getting some and has lost all of his marbles.
He's lost all his marbles.
It's wild.
I know it can make you stupid, but
She's doing something.
that's nuts.
Yeah, this is bad news. Here he's got the video. It's those stupid TikTok links. You're obsessed.
So wait,
with.
she's on the sidelines?
Dude, she's walking the end zone, like going in
Why
between
does she let her
coaches.
do that?
Because she's doing something right.
Hey, but listen, at some point you go, yo.
I know. But apparently she CC'd on all emails, and apparently there's a rumor that she could be on a headset to keep him in line.
No
in case
way.
he strays from like his vision. She's gonna like keep him in line.
No way.
His vision.
That's
His
too much.
football vision. Like apparently she's like in on it. This is wild. This story is wild.
She's gonna have a headset.
Apparently, she's gonna have the ability to like get in his ear.
There's
during
no.
games.
I put it this way, right? So a buddy of mine.
That was mine.
I got the video here. I'm gonna pull
All
it
right,
up.
let's see it.
This video is wild.
Like, could you imagine being a player here?
Look at
No.
that outfit.
Oh my god.
In that outfit.
Yeah, she's like talking to him in the ear. Look at that jacket. Dude, how do you?
Oh my god.
I mean, how do you respect him?
So I'll tell you right off the bat. So I got a buddy of mine whose son is very good. All right. Who, by the way, I know the GM over there, North Carolina.
Oh yeah, is it Lombardi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever. So there might be interest.
Sure.
I'm telling you right now, like, yo, dude, don't go anywhere.
Run.
You don't go anywhere near that program.
I mean,
How's any recruit going to go there?
I mean, they got the Jordan Brand, and it's possibly the greatest football coach ever. So I guess that counts for something. But like,
No, I don't care who you got. He's not the greatest football coach ever if she's there.
yeah, I mean, he's lost it.
Because now it's not his vision. I don't know, whatever, I mean, no. I would I'd stay as far away from that program. I would go to NC State before I would go to North Carolina.
I mean, it's creepy. Like, I have a lot of thoughts in my head that aren't appropriate for our channel right now. Like,
Well, I know you do. Yeah. By the way, happy birthday, Skylar.
oh yeah, she turned 60. You'll appreciate this.
So cute.
One
She's such adorable.
One of my favorite days ever with my dad was when he pulled me out of school to like do stuff.
Ah, the best.
So I pulled her out early yesterday, and we hit an old school arcade, and we just got Chick-fil-A and milkshakes, and it was
fabulous, man.
It was the best. It was awesome. So,
that's the greatest.
Yeah, it was a great dad day.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
They are the greatest.
Yeah.
As much as you sacrifice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Ah, that's awesome.
All right, thanks for the bell. There's your Belichick update.
I like it. Do you like cheesesteaks with pickles?
Cheesesteak hoagie. You do a cheesesteak hoagie?
No.
I've never really done
It's
it.
horrible, right? It's horrible. He does the pickles.
I don't do the pickles.
You do the mayo.
He does the
mayo, lettuce,
Mayo
tomato,
doesn't
onion.
belong on a cheesesteak.
Hot lettuce.
That's not
is-
what Jimmy steaks.
And lettuce.
Hot lettuce is bad.
Yeah,
No, lettuce is
horrible.
cold.
Yeah, but it gets
contrast.
hot.
It gets hot.
in the sandwich,
Yeah.
and then it gets
Contrast
slimy.
with
It doesn't belong on a cheesesteak.
You know what the underrated cheesesteak gem is the pizza steak.
Oh, yeah, the best.
Oh,
I love a
pizza
pizza steak.
yeah. That's
A good pizza steak
Oh yeah.
where the meat and the cheese and the gravy are all together.
Mm.
That's a steak.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, sure.
I'm with
all
you
right
though.
with that.
I'll do a kraut dog or sausage. I'm with you
Yeah.
there.
Kraut dog.
Yeah,
What's
some
that?
mustard. Yeah, hot mustards are good.
Hot mustard
I
and
like hot
sauerkraut's great
mustard.
together.
You gotta tap into your German a little bit.
I
there.
like hot mustard.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, with a little sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut's good.
I don't
Every
like
once
the
in a
kraut.
while.
I'm anti-kraut, but I love this. I love the other, the hot.
Yeah.
No kraut, but I get it.
I'm
get
pro
the,
relish on dogs.
What are you doing for the Derby?
My buddy throws a swanky ass party.
Yeah, I know.
I got my picks. You want them?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, you want to do it? Let's do it tomorrow.
All right, I'll pop
Yeah,
on tomorrow.
yeah.
Talk to my buddy who's friends with a lot of jockeys.
Okay.
So he's got good knowledge.
Yeah, good. Do it.
I got
Get
boxes.
some Oaks pick too.
I got them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I texted him
Perfect.
this morning. I'm all set up.
All right,
I'll
go
pop on
tomorrow. We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, great. Even better. Wear a big hat.
Oh man, it's bonnet day. It's bonnet season.
Yeah, you look like a good with a
Yeah,
hat.
look at a
big hat.
bonnet.
You look good in a bonnet.
Yeah.
Can you see him with a bonnet?
I'll wear a bonnet tomorrow. Let's see if the pagan's got a
dress up
bonnet.
the goat.
You'd be a great bonnet guy.
I'll see if she's got one.
Yeah, it'd be good. All right, that's great. All right, everybody. We love you again. Thanks for hanging. See you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.